Yo guys, it is time. It is Tuesday, but more importantly, it's giveaway day! Yeah baby! We're back one more time with the sickest giveaways on Twitch. You could win tonight a £50 hobby voucher. To find out how, exclamation point how, we've made it easy. Someone's still gonna find out, but we've made it easy. You could also win tonight if you're a subscriber and you are lucky enough to get the prize draw. You could win your choice of, now assembled mostly, partially with blue tack, Ragnar Blackmane, the most badass of all Primaris, full beast mode Primaris, clearly. But you could win Ragnar. You could win the Gene Stealer Cult Abominant, the man with the hammer. When this guy hits the table, it's clearly hammer time. I love this model. I hope somebody picks it because I want to paint it. It looks... But the question on everyone's lips, and all over Instagram already, is what's in the box? We're gonna give it a slightly more gentle rattle today. It sounds like sprues. Sounds like it's literally nothing but sprues. Who knows what it could be? Who knows? I knows. If you're a subscriber, exclamation point mystery, definitely your friend. Go do that. We have still got the polls going for exclamation point Judy and exclamation point Score, the Scorpeth Lord and a Judicia that we'll be painting up and giving away. Flashman Andy coming in with that sub, thank you very much, dude. We will be giving away a painted version of both of those two minis and the rest of the faction that comes with it, brand new on sprue, for you to start your Space Marine or Necron army. Let's go check out how those polls are doing, shall we? So far, for the Judicia, well, we clicked the Necron one. The got fucked up at a 90s Ravecrons, that one's winning. This is my personal favourite pick, and I'm glad it's creeping up there. It's getting into second. Gypsy Danger, clearly the absolute best thing about Pacific Rim. That's what we're going to paint it as, I hope. Still room for the Ice Crons, the Nefertiti Dynasty, the new Crons, the old Crons, the purple Crons, the old crusty Cron. Mikey's the old crusty Cron. Red Crons, he doesn't bot Crons, not a soul wants bone Crons. So the guys we're painting today, nobody wants that. For those Space Marines, the current chapter in the lead, strongly in the lead, 12 votes. The Ultramarines, the most loyal sons of the 500 worlds, right in there at the forefront. Black Templar, Sons of Medusa, all coming in strong in second. CR Sip, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. Thanks for that sub. It's great when one of your friends turns up in stream. Love it. Absolutely love it. So these are the choices for our Space Marine. We finally got some votes for Raptors and Iron Hands down at the bottom. But currently the Marines are in the lead. If you don't want to see an Ultramarine painted Judicia, then you need to go and vote for something else. Exclamation point Judy. If you want to see Gypsy Danger, the Scorpeth Lord, exclamation point Score. There is no Deathwatch on the list. You're absolutely right. We went with good chapters, not like pick your own chapter. The Johnsonator, almost a year. My man. My man. And we've started a hype train. You guys are absolute bosses. Is the competition open yet? Tell you what, mate. It is now. So, exclamation point how on how to enter. We've made it simple. Because tonight we're going to do something difficult. We've got these bone crons, for which we have half of a torso, half of a necron, half an immortal. What we're going to do is going to do some true metallic metal on this bit. And the easiest way to do true metallic metal is clearly with an airbrush. So we're just going to airbrush it. That's it. That's all we're going to do. Is just airbrush the guns. I'm going to show you how easy it is to airbrush part of a model that's already been painted without getting paint all over the rest of it. Because not only are we going to airbrush this guy, we're going to get all of the highlights done on the guns on here. We're going to get some gloss varnishes down, we get some oil washes down. Sage throwing out a sub. Absolute boss. Big Brom. Got a sub off of that. Let's give you your meeps. Dude, you need to be spending these meeps tonight, man. You're at nearly 16k. That's a lot of meeps to spend. A lot of meeps to spend. Tonight is the night, man. That £50 voucher, that could be yours. So we're going to get all the metals done on these guys. We're going to get some golds done. We're going to get some gloss down, some oil washes done. And then maybe even some more purple OSL. We might just carry on with some highlights. Who knows? Who knows? To show you guys how easy it is to airbrush something without getting paint on the rest of the mini. Here's 5 I did earlier on in the space of, well, about 6 minutes. Oh wait, no, that's what I did earlier on. Here's one I didn't do earlier on. There you go. We sprayed it with a really, really dark metal, forgive me. So here's 5 that I did earlier on. The next steps are going to be getting some airbrushed highlights on these and making this silver look sick. This one, next on the line. We've also got the guns that are going to go at the front of our converted Doomsday Arcs. Got one set of these left to spray up. Then they're good. Russ says, as I've not been here long enough to see an end of month show, when and how is the mystery box draw done? So, at about 11:25, almost exactly at 11:25, whoever is stream boss, currently the Johnsonator, but whoever is stream boss at exactly 11:25, wins 10,000 meeps. 10,000 meeps is enough for 25 entries to win that hobby voucher. Now to damage the stream boss, get the killing blow, and become the new stream boss, you can cheer, you can donate, you can sub, and you can follow. Those 4 things damage the boss. So the winner of that gets 10k, flat out. At 11:30, the £50 hobby voucher is drawn. And then at the end of the whip gallery, that's when one lucky subscriber is going to win either Ragnar, the Abominant, or a single Necron Scarab. No, it wasn't a Scarab. It was a Grot. Rocky, what up? Madicius, Brush for Hire, Fletcherton, Sayek, Crazy Ant. All the cool people in the stream tonight. I'll print you on Crownblade, Smithy, Lordy, Amberden, Crooked Grin, Flash and Dash, Voodoo Yes, Draco. Hope you guys are all having a good day. Mr. Brutal chiming in right there at the end. So, flow improver in the airbrush. I'm going to start off with one of the best ways to start any kind of silver true metallic metal, which is Vallejo Black Metallic. Lachias, thank you for that follow, man. Welcome to the stream. Cool gang hype, indeed. Trying to win that damn Chaos Knight. That was a lot. But this is the absolute best way to start true metallic metal. As you can see, by the time you've got it on the mini, it's a nice dark metallic. It still gives you that nice gloss, gives you the shine, but it's clearly super, super dark. Now the first cheat that we've done is we just took a brush, we brushed in all of the silver bits around the wrists, the elbows, all that kind of thing to make sure this Necron had a good shape, a good structure to it. We also, while we were doing all of that, spine as well, and his little guts, just the underneath, we also painted around the areas where his hands join the gun. Which meant we didn't need to get our airbrush in to here, which we knew would cause overspray on the hand. So we've managed to avoid any part of the Mini with the airbrush. It's going to be real close. So we've just got this bit to do. So that first little cheat there, that's going to help us out quite a lot. Let's get a glove on. Let's get on with it. It's going to be a good night tonight. Giveaway night, always the best night. Always the best night. Speaking of giveaways, all of the stuff from last weekend's giveaway ready to be posted out tomorrow. Oh, we got the hype train emotes. Got the choo choo cherry apparently. I'm not sure how that is particularly associated with the train, but okay. So what have you guys been up to? What hobby have you folk been doing? Anyone know what material storm shields are made out of? Lightning. I have no idea, mate. They don't call it adamantium, they call it something else that's very, very similar, right? It's probably going to be that. Ben, cheers, brother. Not understand, watch me airbrush every single part of this Mini that isn't bone. So, start off, hit on the outlayers. So we hit the bayonet looking thing at the front, starting to get the gun barrels down. This is all about just using the tiniest amount of paint. You can use as much air as you want. If you're using the smallest amount of paint possible through the airbrush, it'll dry pretty much instantly as it hits the model because of the air that's rushing in behind it. So you can work real close. You can lay that silver down really, really fast using the airbrush. Now, obviously this part, this is just the base coat. This is easy, right? We're going to be doing some top-down zenithal style highlights to get that true metallic metal look later on. And that's the bit where we're going to need to be a little bit more careful, we need to be a little bit more selective about where we spray from. Because if we fuck it up then, we've messed up everything we're doing on the gun, as well as potentially some of that bone that we worked on yesterday on the Hellstorm stream. You've been moving the house around. Damn, man. Damn. You'll save that when you repaint the rest of the army. I mean, you can keep joking about that all you want, brother. I'm deadly serious. I ain't repainting shit. You want those minis? I'm afraid, dude. Unless Nick McDade decides that he doesn't want his Dark Angels commission, which is a fight I'll let you two have amongst yourselves. Just gonna have to wait. Ultimate control is key, show not that good yet. But you said the magic word at the end of that sentence, brother. Not that good yet. Anything that's worth doing takes 3 things to master. Blood, sweat, and years. I've been airbrushing for approaching 4 years. Yeah, October about 4 years. And there are people that don't use the airbrush as much as me, and they've been airbrushing longer that can't do this yet. And the point I'm trying to make with that is you have to just keep trying. You have to keep building that level of control. Otherwise, you're not going to make any improvements in your technique. Done. That's much quicker than painting it all. It's a much smoother coat than painting it all by hand. Let's get it on. Let's do the rest of the guns. Can you enter me into the sub queue at the end if I'm not here? I can't, dude. I'd love to. But those are the rules. Got to be here to win it. If otherwise, I'm suddenly having to try and work out how to enter every single subscriber. No good. No good. Brush for Hire, throwing out gift subs as well. He's earning meeps by gifting subs. But also Viking getting those meeps for free as well. Viking, you do need to spend some meeps, man. You're at 35k. Maybe this will be the week. Maybe it'll be this time. Finished painting the Grombrindal 40-year miniature. Nice, dude. I did consider picking that one up and then just decided that I'd only ever paint it for a giveaway, and then I've got a load of other stuff that I'd kind of like to paint as a giveaway instead. Such as potentially what's in the mystery box tonight. Who knows? Who knows? Viking says he needs more meeps. I mean, you do. You do. After you've spent. Where is Dead so I can give him my login? That's actually cheating. But we have no rule book written for that, so I'll allow it if you can sort it out. But that's on you, man. That's completely on your karma. And when Des just trashes through to donate on your login, that's totally fine. So, next up, more flow improver. And we've completely cleared out the pot. Normally you'll see me mix colours in between by leaving a little residue in there. This time though, we're completely cleaning out everything that's in there. Because we don't want to transition really gently from this to this at all. What we want to do is get the speed metal in there so that the transition goes from this to this quite quickly. But if we just use this now, it's too stark. You go from absolute darkest to absolute brightest instantly all over the whole thing. We need this to soften the edges of this transition. If we put both of those next to each other and take this one away, it looks like black and white. And that's essentially what you've got with speed metal. It is very, very nearly metallic white. It's got an ever so slight sort of pearlescent sheen to it. It's not just super bright silver. So let's go in with that gunmetal. That is true, Rocky. Amberden, fair enough, dude. Fair enough. Demon Draco, what up, man? We're doing good here. How are you? Also, Future T, thank you for that follow. I missed that one earlier on. Apologies. The ceiling? Damn. It's crazy logic has foiled me. Awesome, man. Good to hear it. Right. Flush that through. Here we go. We've got some good gunmetal. We'll start on these guns first. Now, this is super easy because that's where the top is. You can see we've got a little crossbar which is going to attach to the front of our Doomsday Arcs. All you do now is get down a pretty good zenithal highlight. The reason we're going to do this first is because these guns and these guns are basically the same thing. There's a little difference in that they've got this little extra power pack going on at the back, but it's basically the same shape. And we can see from here how we want the light to go when we get to a slightly more complicated aspect of it, which is on those dudes. So make sure that they're the right way up as far as we're concerned from our facing, and then just gently start getting a few passes in with that gunmetal. We want to retain plenty of that super dark. This is just to get that transition between the darkest points and the lightest points. So once we've done a few quick passes and we've got a little bit of a difference going on there, you can see the difference between that one and that one, for instance, just about, I think. There's a slight blue tint. You just see it picking up on the end here. Once we've worked out where those are going to be, we can then just come in with the airbrush and selectively apply some highlights. So we're hitting the ends of the like muzzle part. These two bits here in the middle, these look like a good place for a highlight. So we just snap one quickly on those. We'll do this little sort of doodad next to the hinge, and I know the rest of it is going to be underneath the Ghost Arc itself. So don't have to bother with a highlight there, as it's going to have something above it, which would cause a shadow anyway. So quite quick, quite simple. Again, a few quick passes, just back and forth a little. Lay down some of that gunmetal, and then focus in for our second passes on things like these that stick out, the muzzle at the front, this little join. In fact, let's highlight the center part as well, just so we've got a little bit more going on there. And we'll do these balls at the ends. Now from the front, let's make sure we hit these. We're going to aim towards the bottom, because the top part of it, again, should only be lit from this side, not the underside of it. So there's one set done. 2 more of those to do, and there's 6 guys holding the guns. See some Xenos weapons, definitely, man. Doing those Necrons. There's those few passes at the front. Hit the areas where we've already established where we want our highlight to be. Around the side, get that middle crossbar. Around to here. Those passes in. Start laying down the highlights. And you can see how quick this is, right? Go to the front. Make sure we highlight towards the bottom. Both of those. Boom. Picked it the wrong one. That's the one I've literally just put that in as well. Note to self, don't play 3-card Monty tonight. Are you excited for the new models? Hell yeah, dude. Because when the new box set comes out, we're doing 2 giveaways on the channel. So when the Indomitus box set is launched, which rumor has it could be on or around, say, the 25th, potentially a week either side of that, it's possible. But when that box set is launched, I'm going to try and pick up 3 of them. And the reason we want 3 is because we're going to do 1 just for any subscriber on YouTube. And once I know that I can get our hands on that many, because it is limited, and my local store is not the biggest, and I do like to support them for stuff like this, the big box launches. Element tend to get a lot of my business throughout the year for stuff that my local can't get in, like some of the paints that I use, some of the artist supplies that I use. Zen 4-1 getting in there on a 4-month streak, and we got an emote for that as well. You absolute boss. So I want to make sure that I can fulfill the promise. That's why it's not been advertised anywhere apart from the stream, so you guys are getting sort of first knowledge. You've plenty of time to create those spoof YouTube accounts. I totally didn't tell you to do that. Increase your chances by subbing on everything. Get the bots going, you know, it's up to you. You can live with that karma, that's on you, man. But as we know we can do that, we're just going to give a full box away to someone that's subscribed on YouTube. Done. So that's a big prize for typing in this command and then going to click the subscribe button. That's 120 quid's potential prize for, let's call it, 10 seconds work. Stinger UK, thank you for that sub. That makes it what? £720 a minute. So times that by an hour. Think about that as an hourly rate if you're the lucky man that gets that. Karimazoid, what up, brother? Judy Carpenter's Red Scorpions, that option wasn't on straw poll. You're absolutely right, it wasn't on straw poll. I went with chapters that I knew, chapters that I could paint, and then when we got to about 10, I thought, we'll get a few more. We'll see what else is out there. Went to the Lexicanum and just picked the top 3. Apart from Exorcist, because I thought they were boring. You feel so abused. I mean, deal with it, man. Get a therapist. Are they confirm the price of the new box? No. No one knows that information. It's going well, dude. It's going well. Right, on these guys, we want to make sure that the bayonet at the very front is going to capture a lot of attention. So we're going to get a good, strong highlight on there. And then because we've got this nice little dip in the middle, we're going to get the highlight there, and then we'll highlight this weird T-shaped bit that's on the underside. Boris is a Red Scorpion player, don't paint his tweets. Boris plays Red Scorpions. Seriously. Like, legit. That would be awesome. Because aren't they all about medics? Considering the current climate. I'm assuming that means he's shit at the game. It's what he came third in the LVO with. Boris Johnson came third at the LVO. Fuck me sideways. That's brilliant. Speaking of LVO, guess who got their ticket today? Oh, you mean Boris Michev? Yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you. I thought you meant the PM. I'm like, wow, damn. Now I finally understand. Saxter saying, finally getting done on my own 14 Deathlock Triggers for my kill team list. I'll be sending you a mail in the coming days, I hope, for a commission. Mate, you can send it. I'd love to see it. It's always great getting those notices. But I'm going to warn you, I'm probably booked till maybe March. Which is mental, I know. But I'm not going to say it's a bad thing. We've got one more commission left in the queue after these Necrons, which is some Orc planes for the pretty awesome looking Aeronautica Imperialis game. We're just getting a highlight on like what would be the sight, the iron sights. Get a quick highlight in there. Then we've got a break. So I said a couple of months back, probably towards the start of the year, I was going to take a break for. My guess was 2 to 3 months. Do no commissions in that time. Just do my own stuff. I had a Grey Knight army I wanted to paint. Still kind of want to get it painted, to be honest. Had a tower I was thinking about picking up and doing. So, you know, there was that option too. And then maybe pick up a commission or two here and there. I've ended up picking up a commission to do Khan for a friend of mine, but only because Khan is legitimately sick AF. Like, that is a cool model. It's a cool set of rules. I love it. Then, because it's Rocky, we're going to do his Magnus the Red, which is going to be an epic commission. So we've cut in a little bit at the start, we've cut in a little bit at the end, which means I've got a month to do my own stuff, which means we're probably looking at doing the rest of my Nurgle Demons, and I started doing a little bit of conversion work on a Demon Prince. We've got Siamese bloke drones coming on. Now this obviously is sort of first pass with some green stuff. We've got a load more detail to go down there, some boils, some buboes. We're going to smooth out some of these weird rib sections that we've got going on. And then obviously we've got everything else to sort of find some detail on and so on and so forth, right? So that's probably what we're going to spend our time doing. That and maybe giving the Knights a little bit of a tart up. Then we've got some Dark Angels to do for Nick again. So he's the guy we did Samael for. He wants to get more done. That's always good. That's going to take me up to Christmas, most likely. And then Ben wants more Necrons. We haven't even finished these Crons, and he wants more Crons! But, you know, I kind of don't get it. Would competing in the LVO increase your estimation of the PM? No, but coming third in it would make me think he's a baller. Like, for sure. Boris went to Vegas, played in the LVO? Nah. Boris came third. Fuck yeah, dude. Respect. I'd vote for you again. Didn't vote for you to begin with. Right, let's hit the sights. And then from the back, because this is all going to be in shadow, we're just going to give us a quick pass just to be sure there's a little bit of a highlight there. So we need to come in underneath this elbow joint. We can't spray from here because we'll spray all up his back. We've got to come in here and we just need to feather the paint in a tiny amount, aiming towards the top of those two little cylinders. That's it. So that's one down, 5 to go. We can speed through these now. We know where our highlight's going to be, so let's get the front of the bayonet thing. A little bit under there. Get the tops of the front, that iron sight. And then we'll hit these cylinders. The Crooked Grin! Oh, being gifted a sub by M. Peters! Dude! So, M. Peters, you're getting some meeps and a Crooked Grin. Let me give you yours. crooked grin. If they... It's underscores, damn it. Like, I just spelled his name right, I'm sure. Apparently didn't. There you go, dude. That's 3,000 meeps for you. Check your meeps. Exclamation point how on how to enter. Also, exclamation point mystery for some information on our mystery giveaway later on tonight. You could win either Ragnar Blackmane, full beast mode Primaris man. The Genius of the Occult Abominant, the man with the coolest hammer in all of 40k. Coolest hammer in all of 40k. I don't care what people say about Vulcan. Fuck Vulcan. Although, that line in the book, where like, it's one thing you forgot. It's also a hammer. Oh. Love that. Love that. So again, get these bright points on the front. And then we'll just come in nice and sharp. So we're having to bring the airbrush down in underneath the elbow joint. And just real careful, tiny back and forth motions on the trigger, just hit both of those from the top side. Okay, so we're getting those highlights on there. You can see it really clearly on that bayonet towards the front, just getting that transition there. All this is doing is allowing ourselves to hit that super bright finish using that speed metal. Get everything put through. Hammer time indeed, my friend. Now, for those of you that may be watching this show back on YouTube, like I say those, meaning plural, there's probably not even one, so, you know. We're giving ourselves some bonus credit here, some creative license, as it were. Clearly, for the end of the month streams, you need to be here on Twitch. You can hang out with everybody in the stream chat. You need to make sure that you're able to participate in the giveaways. 50 quid's worth of hobby vouchers we're giving out tonight, plus a mini painted by me. You get the mini for free, you get the paint job for free, and we ship it to you for free. That could be 200 quid's worth of prize right there, man. You know. One of my favourites from Rin's World. I haven't lost my arm, brother. It's over there. It's a good one. That is a good one. My favourite quote ever isn't actually a 40k quote. It's from Winston Churchill, Sir Winston Churchill. And a woman that was clearly annoyed at him went up to him and said, "You know, if I was your wife, I'd poison your tea." And he turned around and said, "Madam, if you were my wife, I'd drink it." Like, you, sir, are a boss. What a guy, right? So again, just hit those two cylinders, make sure everything looks good from the front. Just going to do a little bit more of a highlight just on this little weird rectangular protrusion that, from what I can see, serves absolutely no purpose. It's just some random stuck out bit of gun, which I totally don't get. Like form and function and all that, people. Come on, Necron boys. Sort yourselves out. I'm not sure he'd gone that far, Viking. So again, just hit the front, hit the side. Just quick highlights on those. A little bit at the back of the gun. The only reason we're putting a highlight there is because why not? We're going to otherwise end up with quite a large patch of just dark metal before we start getting the purple down. So we just need to put that little tiny highlight there at the end. And notice how we haven't got any of that metal on the bone here. Basically what we're doing is we're aiming at the point... Grab a toothpick, that would be the best thing. We're aiming at about this point where the toothpick is. Spraying there, and then gently moving the airbrush back this way until the overspray just starts to fill in this area. When it does, we know exactly where our airbrush is pointing towards, and we can adjust where we're spraying past the model to change what section of this we color in. You don't always have to spray directly at something. Most of the time what you want to do is start your spray off anyway, and you just gently bring it towards till it hits that point you're after. Commissar Bob says, I've decided I've started the Blood Angels army right now. Dude, that's a baller decision right there. I like it. Blood Angels, solid army. One of the few games of 40k I've lost this year was to Blood Angels, man. What are you going to put in your army, man? Sanguinary Guard looking pretty hot. Everyone's loving those. Death Company are not looking pretty hot, which is a shame because I do love those. I think they're amazing. I think one of the best, coolest units in 40k. It's just they are a bit draws on the tabletop. Such a shame. Jen Nelson! Here she is, the queen of the stream. Don't tell Sarah I said that. 13 months. 13 months. Epic achievement. Good to see you, doll. How's things? What have you been up to? Got any hobby going on? So again, just spraying past the model, drawing the airbrush back over to it to make sure we just hit the very end of that section. Busy? Awesome. Love being busy. Viking, you're just a knob. There's clearly some punctuation in there. One of the best, comma, coolest. Such a bella. Glad you're busy, though. And you're keeping safe and all that. We're painting the crons. We're proving to everyone that you don't need to mask anything to airbrush secondary parts of the model. Just some buildings, centurions, and cannons. Cannons? What, like Thunderfires? Death Company with Assault Intercessors. Now that, oh yeah, that's going to be good. But none of them have got jump packs. None of them have got jump packs. Maybe when we get Blood Angels Codex version 2.0, that's going to come in. Janelle, you can build all the Thunderfire cannons you want. That is one of the most reprehensible minis to put together ever. I'm so glad they were king of the meta, because all those meta chasing son bitches that decided they definitely wanted to chase that meta all bought at least 3 and had to deal with putting that together. The metal one, the old school metal one, was bad enough. That in fine crap. I think I'd rather kick myself in the nuts. And think of the amount of pain you'd have to go through to be able to kick yourself in the nuts. But I think I'd rather do that than put together one of those Thunderfire cannons. If the only choice was kick self in own testes or assemble Thunderfire cannons, find a way. Dog shit to build, yes. Yes. Oh. Crazy Yank says I have 60 models of normal infantry for my fist finish. I had to paint a new 20 as 5th company, not 3rd. Dude, Primaris companies can exceed 100 men. You know that, right? Better get stretching. Dude, like I said, that's got to be the only option left. If it comes down to Thunderfire cannon or punting a nut, We'll find a way. Get all the yoga out, crouching tiger, hidden dog, or whatever it is. Waterfall Dalmatian. Right. Some strange yoga names. We'll do all those stretches and then we'll just... Still have 2 Metal Thunderfire Cannons new in box I haven't touched since 5th edition. Damn, man, you should have sold them on eBay during the crazy marine meta. You'd have made a fortune. There was one selling on eBay that was being bid on that I saw that was £130. Just because people don't want to deal with a fine crap. Like, that simple. Right. All them done. Next up, flush this through the airbrush. I'm going to leave the tiniest little bit left in the pot. Damn, man. That's some good work. Your output, mate, is crazy, crazy busy. Do you have a job in addition to painting? Or are you on furlough at the moment? So now we're into speed metal. I know that everyone was buying the Forge World like rapier thud gun style thing, taking those to events and going, yeah, 3 Thunderfire Cannons, right? And I know of tournament judges, tournament TOs that would walk around and go, you said Thunderfire Cannon, not that, off the table. And you said Chaplain Dreadnought, that's a normal Dreadnought painted black, get it off the table. Because they were fucked off with how many of them they see. It was just a disgrace. It was just an absolute disgrace. Okay, so this is a really, really good silver colour. And it's brilliant for doing true metallic metals, especially when you combine it with an oil wash to get those really dark recesses built back into your minis, right? Did you get a message in my shipping address for the Railcraft Basing Kit I won? I can't see it in message history. Did you send it on Discord? I had one package that didn't have an address on it, and it wasn't yours, so yes, I must have done. They're all ready to go out. They'll be going out tomorrow. Smithy, I'm pretty sure you've given me your address previously, but you haven't sent me a DM in Discord. There's your chat history. Yes, one of the first messages you sent me, dude. Got it. So, you're all fine, man. Don't you worry. Got you covered. But they're due to go out to the post office tomorrow. I tried to go, I think it was Thursday or Friday last week. I think it was Friday, in fact. And there was a massive queue at the post office, and I thought, you know what, I don't want to stand here around all these people for what could be half an hour, trying to avoid people going through the shop. So we'll call it and do it another day. It's a shame. All scale metallics are amazing. They're all pretty damn good. I really hate Elf Gold though. Oro Elfico. Because whilst almost all of them you can use with a brush, as well as put through an airbrush, that one, if you try brushing it on, it's such a pile of wank. It's so thin. It's so thin. Maybe you sent it through Twitch, man. Right, so just hitting the tips of these little weird muzzles. Just going to hit the top of that line there, and then we'll come in and just get the highlight on these two bits. And you see that's a very bright silver in comparison to the rest. It's got that cool blue in there. Do you find scale 75 metallics separate out? Not really, mate. Certainly the ones that I've used haven't, but I do go through the ones that I use relatively swiftly. So it's not that they're also sat there for a long time having the ability to separate out either. Just get a little touch just in there. Hit the bottom of that gun barrel. Same here. Just a little bit on that crossbar, and then we're onto this side. So again, coming in from this side, working this way with the overspray. It's possible to airbrush heat discoloration on guns using inks from Liquitex. Brother, it's possible to airbrush heat discoloration on guns using GW paint and flow improver. Like, honestly, I do it a lot. I use Troll Slayer orange, then I use Sunset red, and then I use Kador blue from P3. So I use a GW paint, a Vallejo paint, and a P3 paint, and then just a black, any black, and a fuckload of flow improver, like 4-to-1 flow improver to paint, and it looks pretty good. Like anything you've seen heat scoring on in the chat here that's got that kind of blue that it passes through, that's been done that way. If you want to sort of mute it down a bit, you miss the blue step. So use a little of the pink, and then you rush that straight into black, and so it goes through orange, a tiniest bit of pink, into a very dark purple, and then black. And it's a really easy way of getting that realistic heat scoring or that cartoon heat scoring. You've got two options there that are both really straightforward, don't require much energy or thought or really skill. So, hey, no worries, dude. Enjoy. Skeleton 5 agitators are crap. I don't even have agitators in my paint. Like, there's no jingling. So, is it a separate thing you can buy? Again, hit the ends, top of that barrel. These two little cylinders. Like so. Little gear, little ball, doodad. Fronts, a little bit on the crossbar. And that's just to make sure it stands out a little bit from the rest of the model. You're not really going to see it. So. Is that bolt gun color CR75? No, dude. It's gunmetal from Vallejo. So we've got two Vallejo paints, gunmetal and the metallic black from the Model Air range. They're both super, super good. And then scale 75 speed metal. That's the three that we're using. But this speed metal, like I said, it's damn near metallic white. It's like Ulthorn grey, I guess. Metallic. And as you can see, it applies super smoothly. You get some AMP services, my man. How are you doing, dude? Oh, I feel like it's a long time no see, brother. I haven't caught your stream in such a long time. Let's get some shout outs for this absolute legend right here. How are you doing? How is your stream? God damn, man, it's good to see you. Everyone, if you don't follow this guy, he's one of the most positive people in the entire mini paint community on Twitch. Flat out. Brush Liquor, thank you for the follow, and dude, you are welcome here. That is a cool nickname. Love that Twitch handle. The raid and run. Hey, no worries, brother. You take it easy. Everyone, give that man a follow if you don't. Such a dude. Flash and Dash need to order some gold and brass. Exclamation point element, man. The Lidande. Sup, fam? Thank you for that follow. Welcome to the fam. Tonight, for all of you that have just come in, we're painting some true metallic metals on some Necron guns. So these are not for Tomb Blades. Well, actually, they are for Tomb Blades, but we're not going to use them on a Tomb Blade. What we've got going on here is 3 Doomsday Arcs. Now, my client, this is a commission, doesn't like the general way a Doomsday Arc is armed. He loves the big cannon. Everyone loves that big gun, right? So we've kept the big gun on the Mini, as you can see, just buried in there, nestled in amongst this bone-coloured rib cage. And we did a load of the purple OSL on one of these very recently on our last stream. But rather than having all those tiny gun mounts on here, which my client says snap off really easily. We've replaced those with this bar that we've then just given a little bit of glow to inside. And what we're going to do, right at the front, right under here, let's do it from the side with maybe a little bit of light. So just here, we're going to mount these guns, and that'll form part of the gun that we have, because each one of these things is meant to have 5 Gauss rifles aside. We've got 2 Gauss blasters each, so that's helping us make up some of the guns. And then we've got some Necron Immortals that don't have legs, and what we've got is some green stuff cables that I've made that have got a little bit of wire down the center. We can use that wire to bend these into any shape that we want, and I'll retain that shape. And then each of these Immortals will be sat on cables coming out of the side of the boat, acting as the other sets of guns. I think it's going to be a cool ass thing to see, but that's what we're working on. We're doing some true metallic metal, doing a lot of airbrushing tonight, and I'm showing you guys just how easy it is to airbrush something that you've already done a load of work on. So far tonight, we've painted this gun with 2 passes with the airbrush, and there's not a single bit of silver on that Necron Warrior, or Immortal, rather. We've also got all the giveaways going on today. We have 2 giveaways that we do minimum on the last stream of every month. We always do 1 giveaway for a £50 hobby voucher. Exclamation point, how? Right there. On how you can get some information about that and how you can enter. Then we also give away a mini every month as well. This is a mini painted by me in a color scheme of your choice. We used to do just a mini from my collection. You knew what you were getting into right from the start, but I realized that there'd be a couple of people that maybe didn't want whatever it was that I'd chosen. That might put them off entering. So what we've done instead is I'm giving you guys the choice. And this month, the choices that you have are thus. You could choose Ragnar Blackmane, Beast Mode, Primaris Man. This guy is an absolute weapon. I love the sculpt. So much dynamism in a simple Space Marine. Fucking absolute baller status achieved. So you could win Ragnar Blackmane. It doesn't have to be painted as a Space Wolf, but you know, I prefer whoever wins it chooses a good realistic color scheme for a Marine. If you don't want that, you could win the opposite. Gene Stealer Cult's Abominant, the Tooth and Claw box set, was it they had? Something like that in. These guys are awesome, and this sculpt specifically, I love it. I absolutely love it. He's got his little gimpy friend with him. He's got the power sledgehammer. What's not to love about this guy? But if you decide that you don't want either of those 2 things, well, I've got you covered. You can take a gamble on what's in the mystery box. Now, somewhere in this box, and let's be honest, mate, it's not like there's much room to hide it, so it's going to be easy to see. Somewhere in this box is a mini. Could be in sub-assemblies. It might fill the entirety of the box. The box is sizable. It's about 2/3 the size of a head. So you could fit quite a lot of stuff in here. Like, I know for a fact you can fit a fully built Halverin in there. There are some on the shelf that may be in a giveaway. It could contain a Halverin. It could contain... Let's see, what else is up there? It could contain limited edition Space Marine Terminators for store anniversary. It could contain... Dude, that's one of the best boxes. It's one of the absolute best boxes. That's the original Smoke Inn as well, so... It's got pedigree, that box. It could be some limited edition Marines, like we said. It could be some Warcry miniatures. We've got a couple up there in the background. You can just see hanging in there. It could be some Shadespire toys. It could be some Age of Sigmar stuff. It could be a single Grot. Could be a single Tyrannid Ripper. Could be a Nurgling. I've got a few of those. Rocky says, is it the Minotaur? Maybe. I do really want to paint that mini. So, you know. So you've got a choice of a mini that you know of, and there are plenty of people in the chat here. I know there are plenty of people in the chat here that want Ragnar. There's one specifically that's like, damn, I really want to win this time. He's been after me to paint that mini for him as a commission for a little while. We've been too busy. Had to say no. So he's hoping he wins because he's all over that Ragnar Black mini. I know at least one person that's messaged me saying that they want the Aberrant. The Abominant, rather. Not the Aberrant. That's a completely different mini. I mean, completely different is a bit of a stretch, but it's a different mini. If it's not the Minotaur, can you leave the box closed and say it's a Minotaur if I win? It doesn't work like that, man. Dreadsy, thank you for that follow. It's always a gamble. It's always a gamble, Rock. It could be nothing but a scenic base. Don't know. What else have we got up there? We've got Blood Bowl, Nurgle Beast. We've got the troll dude from not Sigmar, the Necromant. Warcry, not Warcry. Fuck, Shadespire. We've got Shadespire. We've got the brand new limited edition-ish Librarian. We've got some more Warcry stuff. We've got the Red Gobbo Christmas edition. We've got a drawer full of stuff. It could be. Could be Gazgol. You guys did see that new box that came out, Space Wolves versus Orcs, sat in the background. Could be Gaz. And what a boy he is. Right, there we go. Now we've got that super bright silver coming in there. Just realised we missed a little bit of his bayonet. Just did a tiny touch at the bottom. And then this section here we missed as well. So let's just hit that, lift that up a bit. Boom. See, it's so easy to get your airbrush in and around these corners of the mini to give you that super cool TMM effect. It's going to be even better once we've got some oils on it. Question for you. How do you airbrush inks? Don't know if I'm using too much thinner or too high a pressure or what. Okay, so I can tell you now it's not too high a pressure. Because right now, the PSI of the hose is 45 PSI for me. And I use inks a lot. So it isn't the pressure. It might be too much thinner, but I even thin my inks 50-50 with Flow Improver. So if I'm honest, it probably isn't that. For me, it always comes down to control. When you're applying paint through your airbrush, you're pulling back on the trigger, right? And if you think about how small the granules of the pigment are in an ink, as soon as it comes back, even just 1% of its entire range, firing out of here is going to be that ink. So you must be gentle with that trigger. You've got to apply just enough air to get the paint where you want it to be. But you've just got to pull that back. And that's how I airbrush inks. And I did that entire Nurgle Demon army. You can see it's in the box. Here we got the Plague Toads, and then there's 90 Plague Bearers, some Nurglings and so on in there. With inks. For the most part of their colour scheme. And we did it quickly on stream. So, unfortunately, it's one of those things, man. Airbrushing takes time to really, really learn. It is just about controlling that airbrush. And you can absolutely jam the air on if you want. I'm at full bore. You can see how far my thumb is sprayed down, right? So this is where you're going to get spider webbing, yeah? Let's paint this silver. And the reason we're not getting spider webbing, but we are getting silver paint later, you can't even see it on that. Here you are, still jammed down. Balefire Forge! Getting his sub on. Oh, that's thanks to Rocky. I'll give you your meeps in a second, sir. See, we're not getting spider webbing. At all. We can get a nice full coat of this silver going on anywhere we want, because we're touching the trigger. It's absolute maximum amount of air, but it's tiniest possible amount of paint. What you're probably doing, this is to exaggerate a little bit, is pulling a little bit too far back on the trigger. You're getting that, and then suddenly it's doing this. Yeah, you get into a point where it's just reached that tipping point, and bam, spider web. Just need to be very careful about how far you draw back. We're still going full down. You can see the pressure in my thumb. And as long as you control the amount of paint, keep your airbrush moving so it doesn't stay in one place too much. God, my hand's getting cold. You'll get that nice smooth application. Right, let me give Balefire Forge his meeps. Dares gave him a sub. That means Balefire Forge earns meeps because he's now a subscriber. They're his. But it also means he's now eligible to enter that giveaway for the sub-only mini. We've also got Airfoil UK subscriber with Twitch Prime. Dude, thank you very much for that. You didn't have to for the advice. Like, the advice is always free. Sometimes my advice is bad advice. You know. That's usually life advice, not painting advice, though. Treat me as a cautionary tale. So, same as before. In fact, I'll tell you what. Let's see if I can airbrush all of the detail on here using the method I just showed you, just hammering the trigger down. The Subjugator, thank you for that follow. So we're going to go full on the air. Right? We're in there as far as we can go. I'm going to see if I can put my money where my mouth is. Bobbies! Getting his sub going on. Thank you very much, dude. 2 months. Becoming a habit. So being even more gentle than usual with the trigger for that rocking motion. Just allowing the tiniest amount of paint to come out, but we're full on the air. Oh, here we go. He's throwing out those gift subs as well. I will give all you guys your meeps in a second. Let me just focus on this, and then we'll dish those meeps out. So again, jam that trigger down. I'm just going to spray off to the side a little bit, make sure there's nothing drying out. We're still at full bore. Let's try and hit these. Okay, that's actually gone well. We're not letting up on that trigger, as you can see. And then one last bit. Actually, two last bits we've got to do. The bottom of this T section. There we go, and then I'll tell you what, it's hard to do that section. Still at full bore. So what we've essentially got right now is a single action airbrush. We are getting a slight blockage form. I can tell by the way that this is foaming like an absolute madman. So we can clean that, but we haven't let off the trigger yet. There you go. So all those highlights done with maximum air pressure. So it's almost certainly not about that. It's just going to be about that control. Sayek, give me a couple of minutes and I'll answer that question. But the first thing we've got to do, because it's giveaway night and because people are going to want to have their meeps, is to give out all those meeps, because Bobbies needs some hype right now, is a boss. So, Pistafa. Really? Seriously? You got a sub, dude. Congrats. There you go, fella. There's your meeps. Windy Massive UK, Codec 42, December Wind, and Robosh 76. All of you guys just about to be given 3,000 meeps. You're all now eligible to enter into our contest for that subscriber-only painted mini by me. Codec 42, let's give you yours. If you want more information about that, exclamation point mystery. If you want to know how to spend your meeps this evening to try and earn that £50 hobby voucher, exclamation point how. December Wind, and then finally Robosh. There you go, fella. That's it. You've all been given those meeps. Hit those commands for a bit more information. Speaking of information, somebody was asking me for some information. It's Sayak. Yo, Jay, how do you play against knights as Farsight Enclaves? I got tabled by turn 3, and his knights in combat by turn 1. Didn't help that his knight explosion took out all my shield drone and the firewire screen. I think it was the mission since it was just one center objective to negated invulnerable saves. Oh, okay. So that was a pain. Peckish! Dude, thank you for that host. Much appreciated, my man. Alright, just going to quickly take care of this airbrush. We're good now. Clean the blockage out. So, knights into Tau is a bad matchup for knights. Almost all the time. You said you're playing Farsight Enclaves, which means I imagine you've got several commanders in your list. Otherwise, there's very little point in being FSE. With those commanders, how many had full fusion? Peckish! Absolute boss, dude. Giving that gift sub to Tasselhoff. And I believe Airfoil became the new stream boss for a bit there. Oh, damn. How do I spell that name? T-A-S-L-E. Sorry, guys. Sometimes the dyslexia properly kicks in and it gets hard as to get these names right. There you go. So, I'm hoping you had, at bare minimum, 4 commanders. I'm hoping at least 2 of them had full fusion blasters. I'm also hoping that for your sake, the other 2 had cyclic ion blasters. 3 of them with an ATS. I also hope that every single one of those had 2 shield drones with them. And that 2 of them were going to deep strike. 6 commander, 6 crisis bomb. Okay, if you're going to do a crisis bomb, 9. Just 9. ACOL, that's perfectly acceptable to do that currently. And in 9th, it'll work for some of the time. If there are really tall buildings, it won't work for a lot of the time. Abusing line of sight is key. A knight getting into combat turn 1 was definitely your mistake, though. So, the way to go, if we zoom out the camera a little bit so we can use our board as a facsimile of a table. Here's your table width. Back end of both sides, right? These little lines. Yeah? My deployment's 12 on, your deployment's 12 on. My knight can move 12 inches, advance up to 6, and then charge up to 12. Now, if it's got Landstrider, that advance can be 8, but its charge can still only be declared if you're within 12 inches. So if your opponent's got Landstrider, you take 12 from the back of their board, that's the edge of the deployment zone. Then take another 8. You then take another 12 back from there. And that's as close as you deploy to him as you possibly can. Without Landstrider, you put in 6. And even then, it's a difficult charge to make. So you put something there that's just enticing enough that the rest of your shit that's going to for greater good it absolutely rinses that knight on the way in. If a knight is going to charge against Tau, the knight player has to be sat there going, I've got a command point now for my charge to rotate ion shields because I'm going to be taking that much damage on the way in, potentially, that I'm going to need it. And that's the way that they should be looking at that charge. You should be setting them up for bad charges all the time. For things like your screens, don't put shield drones where they can be seen. ever, unless you absolutely have no other option. And for that mission, where it is hold the center objective with as many minis as you can, i.e. more than your opponent, you ignore it for the first 2 turns if you need to. Because it doesn't matter. Then you stamp on it after you've killed 3 of his knights for the next 3 turns and you've won the game. Because you're guaranteed Linebreaker. Guaranteed Linebreaker attack. If you don't get Linebreaker, there's no Grek in your list for a start, which is not ideal. And there's also been a substantial misplay with one of those commanders. You're not going to get First Blood. He almost certainly will. You probably won't. So he's going to score 2 points for holding the middle objective for 2 turns. Then he's going to score 1 point for first strike. You're going to clean up. You'll get Warlord way before he gets Warlord ever. So Linebreaker is just like the icing on the cake. Hopefully, mate, that's a good, comprehensive answer to your question. I've not played against Farsight Enclaves, but I did a lot of theory crafting, both in the Knights case and in the Tau case, because that was the army I was going to run. Although we were definitely going to go Triptide. Fuck that Crisis Bodyguard bullshit. Triptide for life! I just like giant robots, hence the Triptide. In 9th, it's going to be a little harder for Ty. Because, whilst GW said, it's okay, sir, we'll let you have your Overwatch. Hold my beer. Let's ruin them now. You can't fall back in combat with Fly and still hit. So, there's a lot going on with 9th that I really, really like. And that, because I don't play an army that has the Fly keyword at all, it's one of my favourite things right there. Anyone that disagrees with me, that maybe plays Repulse or Spam, Mikey, if you're listening, you can go and sit on it. I don't care. Broadsides, mate, broadsides are still great. They are still great. But here's the problem with broadsides. And it's not a problem with broadsides, it's a problem with the meta. The meta is about to shift to ultra fast units. I'm reasonably confident of that. If you've got things with a long distance movement value, so plenty of things to say movement 12, bikes, jet bikes, tanks, knights, armigers, jump infantry, anything with fly that can move around, you're going to be okay. Because of that obscured rule. And you won't see it on every bit of terrain that's 5 inches high or more. You just won't. And you still need true line of sight. But for any of those events that don't have terrain that's like completely boarded up, you're going to be able to move around the board a lot better than you ever could. And this is why broadsides are going to take a bit of a kick. It's because everyone that is heading towards the top tables will have armies with the increased mobility. Sometimes that increased mobility comes with things like fly, allowing you to get over other models. And broadsides are great until somebody just reaches out and touches them. And as soon as they do, broadsides become a little bit wank. Harlequins, yeah, Harlequins could do extremely well. Especially because they have a lot of things that, like, you know what? You can't Overwatch me. So, getting tight would be horrendous. Absolutely, man. But you can fall back. You can't ever be trapped with broadsides. Not anymore. Please tell me they've released that stratagem. Yes, they have released that stratagem. There's a stratagem that for 2CP, you can fall back over enemy models. You then have to take a test to see if you die or not in the attempt, which is perfectly acceptable as far as I'm concerned. But it's going to be impossible to actually get a full trap off unless you trap 2 units. Because if there aren't 2 units trapped, they just walk off. Sure, they take some casualties, but then whatever you've got locked them in combat with is dead. Just dead. Because if they're going to invest that CP investment into removing that unit from combat so they can shoot at you, you know that they can take you out. Do you not think the coherency rules will really affect Harleys? Nope. Because it's only really going to matter until you take that first casualty. When you take that first casualty, you're unit 5 now. And it's very easy to get 5 in coherency, 2 inches apart. Damn it, he was on the wrong side. There you go. Ta-da! So you got unit 6. They kill 1. You have to take unit coherency tests. We're all in coherency. What it's going to affect are things like Orc Boys, Nurgle Demons. I totally haven't just mixed these up, so I can't see which ones still need the highlight. But fortunately, the highlight is so bright we can easily see which ones still need the highlight. It's just this guy. That's not it, is it? That's kind of it, man. Like the rule is actually really, really straightforward. It's very, very simply worded. But it's going to catch a few people out. And when it happens, I will take full advantage of that at the tabletop, obviously. But it's really simple. If there's 5 models in the unit, you've got to be in range of at least one other model within 2 inches, or coherency range. Otherwise, you run away. If there's more than 6, if there's 6 or more in a unit, you've got to be in range of 2 other models. Now, if you think about this from a perspective of a line, this guy here, and this guy here, well, he's in range of those 2. And if we say the line extends on outwards, that's fine. But as soon as you take 1 casualty anywhere in that unit, you're down to 5. So you have to then get this going on and build in either this or this. If you triangle or make like rhomboid shapes or whatever, that's the biggest stretch that you can make. So an equidistant triangle, equilateral triangle, so these are all equidistant, 2 inches between each one, is the longest you can stretch a unit. And if you think that's good, I'm pretty sure Death Jesters are about the only thing in the game that with a relic or a special rule can choose targets to be taken out of a unit. So here's your long, thin line, right? Bam, bam, bam! I'll kill those 3 in the middle. I can't wait for that to murder people at the table. Because they won't see it coming. Almost no one is going to know that that's a thing. And so, someone's going to play Orc Boys or Demons into Harleys and think, yeah, Death Jester, who gives a shit? And then the look on their face when they find out. Next turn it'll be, right, I'm going to advance everything and then consolidate. Use the model in the unit to run. Okay, I thought you could choose a casualty. Pretty sure of that, but maybe not. George, what up, man? How you doing? Hicko, how you doing? It is really hard to stay in range of buff units. That's the way it's meant to be. And people thought demons were bad. I mean, demons were a little on the obnoxious side. I'm not going to lie. Orc Boys stretched out all over the place. Grot stretched out all over the place. Like, can you imagine Grot shields when you've got a long, thin line? Oh, Grot... Oh, shit. I took the wrong one. I just spent 2 CP to completely fuck myself. So... It's gonna be so good. Right, just rinsing out the airbrush a little bit. We are at 20 past 10. So there's an hour and 6-ish minutes, 5 and a bit-ish minutes, in the Stream Boss battle. So you've got plenty of time to become Stream Boss and win 10,000 meeps. The next step that we're doing on these guys is going to just paint in some gold. We've got the helmets to do, and we've got this little bit of chest insignia to do in gold. And then we're going to get a gloss varnish out, give these all a good glossing, then start hitting them with some oils. Now, it'll probably take us up towards the end of the stream. We might even get the cleaning done between now and the end of the stream. So, who knows? Does the unit coherency stuff happen after morale? It does, but you then got to fail that morale test, you see. So they've got the chance of that insane bravery thing going on, but they just naturally roll a 1. If you're demons, that's even worse for you anyway. Or just passing a leadership test. So, is it giveaway day? You bet your ass it's giveaway day. It's the last day of the month, George. That and that. So, I think we're going to airbrush the heads as well, just to prove that it can be done. Tasterhoff, peace out, man. Good luck with that traffic. So we got some Viking gold, really good gold color. Super, super big fan of that. Let's grab one of our slightly more tatty brushes, and then just get a base coat down on all of these helmets. And what we're going to do is going to lay down a base coat of Viking gold, and then we're going to come back in just to get those nice smooth transitions, because I know Ben's a big fan of the gold that we've got going on these Doomsday Arcs. We're going to come and we're going to hit these with some airbrushing just for the highlight. Now Ben, while we got the gold paint out, is there anywhere else on these guys you want this gold to be? It's such a beautiful gold though. Just check J if any models flee from a unit result with combat. You can choose the first model to flee. It's still good. There you go, man. You've just got to get them to flee. It's a little bit more than it just being killer model. Sarah, what up? How you doing? Pretty gold. It is pretty gold, man. I get the feeling that you'd drive a gold Merc if you had the chance. I think you love gold. Yeah, all over. Yeah. Okay. I said that, and you were like, "No, we're doing it. We've got to be bone. Got you know." Gave you that as an option. You turned it down, man. Too late. Hicko! Thank you for that sub, brother. Hope you're doing well, man. Painting up Horus right now. Guess I know where the Chaos Range got its excessive amounts of trim from. Fuck yeah, dude. Like, flat out, this is absolutely 100% true. The cost that someone gets quoted for painting a Space Marine and the cost that someone gets quoted for painting a Chaos Space Marine are different. It does cost more to have Chaos Marines painted, just because of the crazy bullshit amounts of trim. And we don't even talk about Haldrex in this household anymore. Not that. Cool beans, dude. We can get, I think a lot of the Cryptek and Canoptek stuff would look good with gold being quite prevalent. Things like Cesaras obviously would look sick AF with some gold going down. Cesaras, who is 130 points, what is basically a Demon Prince, with permanent buffs to units. 1 unit a turn. He permanently buffs a unit with +1 strength, toughness, or ballistic skill. And people are crying about this, not looking at anyone in particular. People are saying this is not good. Fuck right off. Sarah, absolutely fine, babe. Thank you for stopping by. It is giveaway day, so if you manage to get some charge on that battery, got to come back in and enter those giveaways. You could win another model to sit on your impressive collection of basing buddies, whatever you call them. Sales assistants. It's a nice balanced points, yeah. I wonder if we're going to go up in 9th. Like, if they released him at 130 points and then in, like, 3 weeks' time it's going to be, yeah, he's 170 points. Because that's what I thought he'd be, was about 170 points. But he's 130. Are you actually shitting me? I'd pay that just for a buff bot. Crosby, here he is, back home and in stream for the rest of the night. Yeah, boy. He wants Ragnar. Wants that Ragnar. Dude, just for being a sub, could be yours. Exclamation point mystery, if you want to know a bit more about that. I hope they do some new Adeptus Mechanicus. They just had a shitload of new Adeptus Mechanicus. Oh wait, you mean Imperial Guard? Do you mean Imperial Guard? You mean Astra Militarum, don't you? Yeah, more mini staff. Brilliant. It could be. Gotta be in it to win it later on though, Sarah. Let's get that phone charged. Ha! I'm sure you have a worthy hope. That was slightly self-critical. I mean, you could choose for it to be a pirate-themed paint job. Just saying, right? You know. Any news on the release date of GW Box? Potentially around, say, the 25th. Pre-orders potentially just gleaned from the internet. Maybe going up around the 11th. Can I confirm or deny these rumours? It's just what I've heard. The foreigner says, "Do you trust your source?" Not a tiniest bit. Wait, no. If I want to start in Space Wars Army with Ragnar Sayek, that is an absolutely 100% correct suggestion. He's an absolute weapon. He's just so cool. And he goes full beast mode on the tabletop as well. Crown Blade, I'm telling you right now that Ragnar will not have that scheme. That might be his shoulder pad scheme, but not the whole mini. That's just not happening at all. We said when we did the bloody Patriarch, dude, that there's absolutely no way we're doing another Wasp style scheme because of all the people that kept fucking sending me pictures of Wasps. Just airbrush 500 points of Zench using only inks. I feel like a mini J. Damn, man, that's cool. I mean, you're only like 1,300 points short, so just do the rest, right? You got this, man. Awesome though, dude. What were you doing? Horrors? Screamers? Or was it 500 points of Zench Demons because it was Magnus, who's technically just a Zench Demon? God, I can't wait to paint that Rocky. Cannot wait to paint that. It's going to be so sick. Go. So getting a little sort of cog tooth thing around the back of his head. And we're just doing the heads with this first pass. I'm going to break out with a better brush and we'll just do the little unk kind of thing on the chest. See, 48 hours. Brother, we did it in 35. You got absolutely no I'll tell you what, I'll let you have an additional 48 after you've started these minis, right? Because you're learning. You know, senpai is kind. It's alright. Right, what time are we at? We are at 10:30. That gives you 55 minutes left to be Stream Boss. Get those 10k meeps. Trying to win that £50 hobby voucher. What would you guys spend it on? So I always love sort of looking at things like the Element site and going, oh, I really want that, I really want that, I really want that. Well, now you don't have to just look. You could just go and buy it. What would you do if you won that voucher? What would you spend it on? Mad Dog Rex. Took me a second to work that one out. Thank you for that follow and welcome. Please backing music to the stream has remained solid despite the YouTube change. Sick instrumentals all day. Yeah, man, we've got some absolutely on point royalty-free music. It took me ages to find some of this stuff and track it down, which is why we have jealously guarded our playlist and ain't no one getting hold of that. If you guys want it for your own streams, then I'm afraid you'll have to go and do the hard work too and listen to a lot of shit music. Like a lot of shit music. George says, more Sons of Horus. That's good. Your last voucher, you won the last voucher. You got that for Forge World. That was put to good use. Went towards a Contemptor, I think, and something else. I've forgotten what it was, though. More Stormcast. A big fuck off Nagash. Love Nagash. That's one of those minis that I'm like, please somebody want an undead army enough to commission me to paint that. Because it's an absolutely insane model. Ah, Kareem throwing out a gift sub to Claptraps. Quality name. Including assembly and basing, how many hours do you think it was in full for the Nurgle army? I can tell you exactly. For assembly, all I had to do was about 3 hours worth of work. Because all of it was assembled aside from the riders on the Toads, two of the Smelly Champion people, 6 bases of Nurglings, yeah, and 1 Plague Bearer. I needed 1 Plague Barrier. 1 Plague Barrier? 1 Plague Bearer because there were 89, not 90. So only about 3 hours to make sure all of the mold lines were taken off, all the bits of flash were taken off, that sort of thing. For the basing, that took about 3.5 hours. So that was a bit of a drag. And then for the Zenithal highlights, that was about 4 hours worth of work. So even adding all of that in, we still well were within our 48-hour challenge time. And Doodar Day, where did you buy them from? Because if you got them from Amazon, there are, believe it or not, and I genuinely shit you not, there are counterfeit Winsor & Newtons on Amazon, which is about the shittest thing I've ever heard of in my life. So, if you got it from Jackson's, then just get in touch with them, man. They'll probably look after you and give you either a refund or a replacement out. That means it was legit. It was just badly packed. That's all. So, shame, but if Fish says going to get a Spartan, you definitely should get a Spartan, man. I've been telling you that for months. Well, weeks at least. Cremozoid, Tribute, Gondian Entry, Vampire Lord, oh yes. Oh yes, that's absolutely one of the best things that's ever been painted. It's right up there in my mind with Sergio Calvo's Space Wolf that he did, which I still don't think is actually real. Cream, you can say what the fuck you want, man. Like, well, there's limits. There's lots of things you shouldn't say. Harsh language is fine. I don't think the chat makes it to YouTube. My voice does, and I'm never ever going to filter myself. Because I think if you start to filter yourself in one aspect, then you'll start to filter yourself in others. And I'm an artist. I do not ever want to filter any part of my creativeness, like my art, at all. So I just... people like me or don't. That simple. Hey, for everyone hating on Winsor & Newton, these are the only brushes I use. I have had one bad one, which is why I stopped buying them from Amazon. Because then I found out about this potential counterfeit brushes on Amazon. Since then, I've bought them from Jackson's, and they've all been perfect. Now, like any handmade product, there will be some that don't pass quality control, but somehow are still let out. Mistakes happen, it's human error. So you've got to believe that. But these brushes last me up to 6 months, usually around sort of 3 to 4. The brush I'm using right now is the brush, not the one I used last, but the one before that. So this is 2 generations of brushes ago, which means I stopped using this for detail work about a year ago. I paint 40 to 50 hours a week with a brush. Let's say all but 10 hours of that is with a brush. The rest of it's with an airbrush. And this is still pretty damn perfect. Damn it, Daniel, dude! Welcome to the stream, man. How you doing, bud? How is your stream? We're painting some Necrons, some slightly old Crons. We've got some Immortals that have got Deathmark heads that are going to be used as side gunners on some sick looking Doomsday Arcs. Crash landing! Thanks for that follow and welcome. Got one more helmet left to do, but this is what they're going on. We've got 3 of these absolute bad boys. We've spent the last couple of weeks working on these off and on. We did some OSL on stream recently. I love them. Ben, you can't have them back. I've put too much pain and effort into painting these. They're mine now. Rock Bottom 3000. Thank you for that follow. Just painting stuff up, bringing along the trolls. Awesome, dude. Bring the trolls. Bring all the trolls. We had a fellow Gloucestershire, guys. That's right, you are from Gloucestershire. I completely forgot, man. Dude, after COVID, we need to do something, man. It'd be nice to see another human being. George, it's because you didn't have the shot glass technology to save you from dropping the GW painting handle. It's an inferior thing about the Games Workshop version. It's one of many faults that it has. Chief among them is that you can't use theirs to drink out of, whereas these, always a party. Magus was playing fighting with Bobby G and a few other things, and she snapped off Bobby's sword. Lockable cabinets. It's definitely. I know someone that's lost a night to that before, and that was painful. Hey, Mohawkminiatures, what do I have to do to get you to do a mini Canada Day? Wait, what? A Canada Day themed for tomorrow? What? Sorry, mate. I think that's me that doesn't understand what you're saying. Is it Canada Day tomorrow? I thought that was on the... I am an ignorant Englishman. I'm just going to throw that out there. As if there was any question. But was that not the same day as Independence Day? So, Saturday? Like painting Imperial Guardian Lumberjack. Can't English. I mean, definitely can't English. Or Ingleski. Or Inglese. Can't do any of those. It is tomorrow. Oh, okay. To be honest, man, I'm literally not going to have time tomorrow. Tomorrow is the only evening I'm taking off this week, and it's so I can hang out with my buddy Josh, who's based in Colorado. And that's because where we would normally sit and have a smoke at the weekend, he's got a lot of plans for Independence Day. So I'm going to have no time. I'm literally doing office work, and then I'm on we'll probably use like Whereby or something for a video chat. Damn, man. So that's the best answer. You may be from the Forest of Dean, mate. You know, I'm not. Don't tar me with that fucking webbed-fingered brush that you're using there. Bet you're great at swimming. The Forest of Dean is really nice, though. It's a nice area to go and visit, but, I mean, if you live there, you've probably had your sister, brother, or brother-father, because the two may be the same relation come onto you a little bit. And I don't mean a chat up line, I mean... So... Yeah. He looks like the eldest mum and his sister. Are they as big as that? Who? The mum and the sister. Same person. The gold that we're using right now is Viking gold from Scale. And Ben, don't you worry, man. Need some of the Ghost Art Warriors back for Frozzy and forgot to tell you. I was going to give you a more back, but then I've got to do... It's a bit of an ask, I appreciate, so feel free to say no. I'm doing a painting lesson with somebody who I can't tell you who it is. And there's a reason why I need some Necrons. So do you mind if I have, say, like 4 or 5 of the Ghost Arc dudes like that? Happy to drop some cash off the commission if you want. Right, now these little anks, and we just switched our brush up to our freshest, newest brush, so the tip will remain nice and pointy. Just to hit these nice and quick. Next step, gloss varnish. For the command, put in June, and then 20, a space, and then a number of tickets, mate. Exclamation point how, and you'll get a thing you could even copy if you wanted. Alright, there you go. Nice little splash of gold there in the middle of his chest. A bit like people from the forest. Fuck gold. At least this is a game the whole family can play. Yeah. Blech. Of course you can, mate. Don't be stupid, man. Oh, cheers, man. Like I said, just need a couple, just so I can demonstrate a particular painting scheme to somebody. I mean, I say I'll buy you a beer, but it's pretty much guaranteed that we're both going to be buying each other several beers at this stage. So one more on the tally is going to be either one too many or just a drop in the bucket. So... Daniel, he's all ears. Good listener, that man. Alright, 3 down, 3 to go. And it's time, like I said, for a little bit of that gloss varnish, which will probably take us up to, by the time that's dried down, maybe 11. So we're going to get the oil washes down this stream. And maybe a little bit of cleaning done as well. Oh wait, shit, no, it's not gloss varnish next. It's airbrushing the masks. So we've put down some Viking gold. Because Ben really likes the gold that we've done here, and I don't blame him, that is a lovely buttery gold. And it doesn't like that is maybe taking the piss just a tad. Because he likes that, we're going to do the same method on helmets, so we're going to airbrush those masks. And yes, I'm aware they're attached to Necrons that we've already airbrushed. They're attached to guns that we've already airbrushed. It's all good. That's kind of the theme of tonight's stream, is how to control your airbrush. How to make sure you're getting the most out of it, because somebody messaged me today, and they may be in the stream. So if you are, like, I'm just using this as reference, don't mean any offense by it. And they said, thinking about getting an airbrush, it doesn't need to be a good one, because I'm just going to use it for priming, base coats, and varnish. What do you recommend? And my initial recommendation was to not use it for just those things. Now everyone gets a bit of a fear when they pick up an airbrush for the first time. They start off with boundless confidence, and then literally seconds in, that confidence is replaced by, shit, this is harder than I thought it was meant to be. It looks so easy on the internet. What have I doing wrong? You're actually doing nothing wrong. At all. But my god, you can use an airbrush for so much more than the absolute most basic things. Ringsting69, how you doing, man? I got your planes out of the box today, had a look at them. There was a little bit of flash that I'm going to need to clean up, so I'm going to examine the rest of them in pretty fine detail, and then by the end of the weekend you'll have that revised contract out to you, mate. Speaking about the LVO, guess who got their ticket today? Narrowly missed out on the high roller package, which I was a little bit gutted about. Never mind. It's what it is. Would have loved to get that. Right, airbrush time again. Let's get the wet palette away, brushes put back in their tubes. And we're going to airbrush some gold on a tiny area without any overspray. I promise you. What's the high roller package? It's for high rollers. They look after your package. So you get in the package I've gone for, which is like the 40k championships, like sort of gold package, I guess, whatever it's called. You get a pint glass that's branded. You get a T-shirt. You get some objective markers. You get your conference pass, so the 3-day pass to get in anyway. Then you get your ticket to the 40k champs, and you get your ticket to the Sunday RTT. For those who don't make it into the grand finals, like the best of 16, which, I mean, I'm probably not going to make, let's be honest here, but my god, if I do, then yes, boys, yes. Imperial Knights winning the LVO. So yeah, you get a fair bit. And I worked it out. If you buy the ticket to the champs, which is $90, then it's $45 for the convention pass. So you're at $135 to get your pint glass, to get your objective markers, and so on and so forth. All the other stuff that comes with it. You're spending an extra $25-30. So fuck it, right? Why not? Every time I go on holiday, I always try and buy a T-shirt. That's kind of my thing. So I just want a T-shirt, a good T-shirt. So I've already got that taken care of. We're all good, right? Okay, here we go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to airbrush a transition on this gold helmet. Sharpie for scale, not for miniature painting. Don't ever do that. So this tiny ass gold helmet, we're going to airbrush a gold transition on. Easily. Start off with every airbrusher's best friend, Flow Improver. Buy this by the gallon if you can. I've looked, you can't, so you know. I'm going to take some Dwarven Gold, Oro en Mano. This is our first highlight colour. You'll notice it's not a billion miles different from that Viking gold, but it does contain a lot more yellow pigment to it. This is more of a sort of browny gold. This is much more of a yellow gold, and that's the look we're going for. Just gonna pretend I didn't hear the don't use a Sharpie for painting bit. Do not ever use a Sharpie on your toy soldiers, or I will personally call you a bellend. Anyone that's like, oh, it's such amazing a hack on spiky bits. Get out. You're banned. Hi everybody, Robbie Bear, hobby expert. My ass, you are. Can't wait to meet him at the LVO. I have seen your towel, I saw the amount of Sharpie you used on it. You could have done that with a paintbrush, and it probably would have been easier and quicker, if I'm honest. Right, that's got a little bit of speckling going on, so you need even more thinner. How do you find scale 75 for airbrushing? Never tried them, it's super chunky from the bottle, lovely colours though. Like a fucking dream. They airbrush so crazily smooth, it's insane. But you have to check your consistency every single time, and sometimes you're adding even more flow improver than you would think. I always go at bare minimum 1-to-1 flow improver to paint. So we use a lot of flow improver over here. But for scale 75 paints, and not so much their metallics, but if you just grab like a random bottle of scale color, this is Rojo Sangre, which is an amazingly deep red color. Because their medium is so crazily matte, they go on epically well. And I use them a lot through the airbrush. But I'm about to use this metallic on this dude's head, and I promise you guys there's going to be almost no overspray. It's going to be easy. So what we're going to do is going to cover over the back of his head with our finger. Spray at the finger, so spraying at this point here, alright? And then just move that down. All we're aiming to do, give a nice shiny yellow face right now. So using that dwarven gold to help blend our transition. Now we're going to turn him to the side. We've got to get the sides of the head as well. We're not going to touch the model because the next side's going to be wet anyway when we do the turn, alright? So we're just going to hold our finger behind it, spray it about this point, and then work in. I'm going to do it without touching his shoulder pads. So there we go. We're getting that gold highlight down. I'm going to do a little bit more from this side. And then a little bit more from here. And having something the other side of the Mini is super useful. Because you're making sure that you know exactly where your airbrush paint is going before it comes near the Mini. Alright? Once you get a bit of practice down and you've kind of got your eye in, for want of a better phrase, fucking moth that's landed on this guy, you can do it without. Now we've got one more highlight to do through the airbrush for this as well. So we're not stopping here. This is our mid-tone to get us to our highlight in a nice soft way. Same as we had to do it on the guns, right? So bam. No gold anywhere here. Nothing around his collar. Nothing on the chest area rather. Clearly Necrons wear shirts now. He's a formal Necron. You know, formal crons. So again, just start from underneath. Get there. If you want to do right at the very top of the head, sure, you kind of need to mask it a little bit, but simply enough. Like so. What's to worry, right? What size needle? This is an Iowata Eclipse. Sorry, I forgot we were zoomed in. Which means it's 0.35. Which means this is not a tiny detail airbrush needle. This is your all-purpose airbrush that you can use for everything from priming and varnishing all the way to tiny, tiny bits of OSL once you've had some practice. This one's tricky because he's bent at an angle, so we will just cover that shoulder up with our finger. Just to hit that section. Tip as well, always just dry the paint on your glove, yeah? Does needle size make much difference? Mate, if you ask a lady that, she'll give you the right answer. And it always comes down to the same as the guy's answer. It's not the size that counts, it's how you use it. So, if the needle is smaller, then the aperture that is open when you pull back the trigger is smaller. So you get less paint coming out. Why is that useful? It's easier to control, right? We talked earlier on when we were doing this on the back of my glove. We were doing that thing about spider webbing for somebody. We were talking about how if you are applying absolutely maximum amounts of air, as long as you're still only applying the barest amount of paint, you're still fully in control of what happens the other end. So you're not going to get that spider webbing, you're going to get a nice smooth, even coat. Her Salcero! Dude, I didn't think you were going to make it tonight. How you doing, man? Welcome to the stream. So for this, I'll tell you what, let's do the same exercise we did earlier on. Ben, if this fucks up, we'll repaint it. Instead of being careful with the trigger, we're going to jam that fucker on full force, right? So we're absolute full go on the trigger. And now we're going to see if we can control our highlights on something even this sensitive. It's harder. It's a lot harder. But our paint is the right consistency. Our accuracy is on point. The most important part is we're using the smallest amount of paint. My finger has not left full power on the trigger. There we go. Highlight done. So it all comes down to control. How would you paint a nice white for Stormtroopers? Is this like not Starship Troopers, Star Trek? No, the other one. Star Wars. Is this Star Wars Stormtroopers? Like that kind of thing? Or is this for like Imperial Guard Stormtroopers? So, getting chased by a predator in hunting grounds. Dude, that's awesome. So, needle size makes things like that easier because as you pull back the same distance on the trigger, you've got less aperture and therefore less paint that can come out, which gives you that control. So I plan on buying a stupendously small airbrush at some point. I'm going to get, if I can, and it's bloody expensive, they're like 400 quid. One of the Iowata custom airbrushes at 0.15mm. So a lot of airbrushes are 0.2. We'd be taking that entire airbrush off of the aperture of this one to get down to that size. And I'm super fine to do that. No issues doing that at some point. But we're just saving up for that a little. Star Wars miniature game. So I would do... the way I've done white a lot on stream is starting with a nice mid-tone grey or even like a blue grey we did for the Sisters of Battle that you saw. Take that and then just build up zenithly white. I'd use white ink through an airbrush. Oh, you haven't got an airbrush, have you, Smithy? That's your first problem. Buy an airbrush. Would you ever do a class, Jay? Like, teach? I'm actually going to give a private class. I've got one coming soon, which is where I need those Necrons. That's for somebody that's actually a YouTuber, and relatively well known on YouTube. So I can't give out any names and stuff, obviously, not yet. We're going to do that as a virtual class, like over the net. Probably going to use Discord for that. And we're doing that for free. Like, mostly because the guy's an absolute fucking boss and I love him to bits. I mean, I haven't given anything away. It's a Warhammer stream. Of course, it's a bloke, right? I mean, alright, there's an outside chance it might not be, but... so we're going to do that painting lesson. That's 1-to-1. And I've got somebody that's coming down to the house, so the studio, at some point after COVID is sorted out. And we've discussed that a little bit in depth with somebody that genuinely wants to improve at their painting, airbrushing in particular. That's a little bit too silver, just a tiny bit too heavy. And so they're coming down. We're gonna have a day painting toy soldiers. I'll cook dinner, which will, let's be fair, be steak. Then we'll play some 40k, have a few beers, chill out. It's gonna be a really, really good day. It's gonna be 8 hours or so of airbrush tuition. So, depending on how those go, I'd be down. You do have an airbrush. Alright, Smithy. Excellent. Then a mid-tone grey, and then build up almost to the point of pure white. Don't put pure white through the airbrush, but use white ink and just build up the layers like that, and then use pure white as your edge highlight. Otherwise, you've got nowhere to go. We talked about this on the stream last night with Mikey from Hellstorm, where he was airbrushing up to pure white for his little Deceiver Miss Universe sash. So watch this space, guys. If it's something that you'd be interested in, then perhaps one day we could do an actual painting lesson. So now we're going to keep this highlight even smaller, and we're just hitting, and you can see it's super, super bright right there. If we get one of these guys next to him, you can see the difference. Yeah. So you've got that super, super bright highlight now, right in the middle of his forehead, just above his eye. And the whole point of that is where that white, where the purple, the OSL glow we're going to put on these eyes comes through. It's going to shine right into the brightest part of that gold and just look magnificent. Mix a grey with white ink, yeah. And then do that like 2 or 3 times so that you end up with something that's nearly white, the most extreme highlights for it, but not actually white. So never stop there being grey in the airbrush. And then just take basic white paint, thin it down nicely, and bam, hit those crisp edges. With Vallejo grey primer work, you don't really want to be painting layers with that. So if you don't have any grey paint, I'm sure you've got black and I'm sure you've got white. Therefore, you've got grey paint. But doing multiple layers of primer, because it's a thicker paint, and Vallejo primers are usually the polyurethane ones, so it's got a layer of plastic that you're putting there on the model. It's going to start obscuring detail, and it'll take a while for that to happen, but it's more likely to happen with that kind of paint that you're using, because that's not the intended purpose of it. You could definitely start with that grey primer, make yourself up a grey if you don't have one, work in some white to that, and then finish strong with those edge highlights by brush. So there we go, again, just hitting those highlights nice and smooth, real easy. There's not a single trace of gold anywhere else in that area apart from that face mask. It's all about control of the trigger, only allowing the smallest amount of paint out. You can do as much air pressure as you want. We've established this already tonight. We've gone full bore. And remember, my airbrush, the compressor is set at maximum at all times. On the initial trigger pull I'm about to make right now, bam, that's 45 psi. That's just spat paint all over the Mini. But because we controlled the amount of paint that came out of it with the tiniest of motions using the thumb, fuck anyone that says you can't use your thumb to control an airbrush correctly. They have no idea. because we're using the tiniest amount of paint, we're only hitting the parts of the Mini that we want using it. Cheers, Goldfinger tonight. I sang that, actually. I don't know if anyone was watching the Prague GT streams. But there was... I can't remember what we were talking about. I think it was an assassin in the game or something. I said, oh, it's the man with the golden gun. And I started just reciting Goldfinger lyrics to Elliot, who was on mic. I was talking to him, and he was trying not to laugh. It was meant to be him talking to Mikey with me feeding him information in one of his ears. And he started giggling. And then it became... like, Elliot just losing his shit. He told Mikey what was going on, and Mikey was like, put the sound on. So I sang Goldfinger bow, bow, wow, to the rest of the people watching the stream, which I thought was hilarious. How do you paint white without an airbrush? Easy, man. Start with grey, mix in white, blend it, finish with just white on the edge highlights. It's the same deal, it just takes longer. Like all the airbrushes, so imagine the airbrush as a tool for applying glazes, because that's what we're doing, right? A glaze is a very, very thin coat of paint that's normally there to tint one colour rather than gain coverage on it. So let's say you're doing a power sword, for instance, and you're going from, you'll see a couple in the chat, I do a lot of blue power swords, right? So you're going from a very dark blue, almost black, up to a super light, almost white blue at the end of it. God, that was really tricky to say, obviously. You can do all of that without an airbrush in about an hour and a half, and it'll be very smooth. If you spend 3 hours, it'll be super smooth. Or you could do it with an airbrush in 20 minutes. Like all the swords in that Ultramarine set and that Space Wolf down there, all airbrushed, man. Although, to be fair, painting power swords by hand and not using an airbrush is something I find really, really relaxing. And every now and again, I'll just paint a power sword because it's fun. It's one of those things that's very meditative, right? You know, where you sort of sat there trying to clear your mind of all thought, all that kind of jazz. It's kind of one of those style things where you're just sort of relaxing into what you're doing, and all you've got to focus on is getting that blend smooth, and nothing else matters. And because it's usually, at least, a nice flat surface, it's easy. It just takes time and takes a lot of the hairdryer. So, if you rip my Gravis Captain apart, need that sword for Chapter Master model I want to make. The painted one. Ouch. There we go. So, 6 Immortals. Or at least like 6 halves of an Immortal. The rest of them, like we said earlier on, are going on some little like wireframes that we've made. These are going to be attached to the Doomsday Arcs, as these guys are the gunners for our Doomsday Arc. Could you paint axes or swords with it in case you're batch painting? Mate, you can batch paint anything with an airbrush. That Nurgle Demon army, I did all of the swords with the airbrush. After inking and glossing and basing everything else before we did the oils. Every single one of those swords, over the space of, I don't know how long it took to do the swords, maybe an hour and 3/4 to do, what, 96, 79, to do 99 swords? No, 100 swords, because 4 guys, 6 riders, yeah. 100 swords in about an hour and 3/4, perhaps. You can definitely smash through them as a batch. Nothing wrong with it at all. Right. Just fully rinsing this brush out, because we're about to use the gloss varnish. So I want to make sure there's no trace of that gold silver paint in there, because we don't want to make the rest of this boy metallic. It has to stay completely clear. So you've given that a damn good flush through. We're now going to take just a bit of tissue. And I get asked this a lot, when changing colour, do you clean the airbrush out? Well, we've changed colour like 4 times, and so no is the answer. But when you suddenly come to a color where you cannot have any sort of cross-contamination going on, then just give it a good wipe around with a tissue. Yeah, make sure there's nothing, no residue in the pot, nothing sort of drying in there, lurking around. A little bit of water after that to make sure there's nothing that's fallen into the path of the paint. And then backflow it to make sure there's nothing lurking left in the needle. If this comes out clear on the backflow, which it has, a little bit cloudy because it's oxygenated, but that's all, you're good to go. Don't do that at the end of an airbrush session and go, now my airbrush is clean, we are successful. No. Fuck no. Because you will absolutely ruin your airbrush that way. You'll gum it up with all manner of crap. So don't do that. But if you know you've got more of a painting session you're doing later on, then by all means, clean your airbrush out like that, leave it 3 or 4 hours before you go back to your airbrush, and then give it a damn good clean at the end. Use a secret weapon alongside the airbrush source. You're right, I did use blue tack to make sure that we masked off every single one of those plague bearers. And when I say I used blue tack, I don't mean that I used this gargantuan weighty lump of blue tack. Not this. I mean we used the packet. And we just tore up a bit of the packet, slid it in where we needed to go on a Nurgle dude, sprayed the airbrush, took that away. Jobs are good, man. Right, varnish time. Hobo J! How you doing, Chief? If you don't recommend one colour from each brand of paint you use, what would those colours be? Tire Black from Secret Weapon Miniatures, Sunset Red from Vallejo. Oh, it's a rough one for P3. Signar Blue from P3. The highlight version. From Scale. Oh shit. Don't lock that script. Could someone just do something that would trigger a response from the bot for me? So just use one of the commands like exclamation point how, something along those sorts of lines. Just want to make sure that the bot still works. Yeah, okay, we're good. Sorry, I've just had this weird fucking bullguard notification. It blocked a script from chatbot. I'm like, hang on a minute. I trust that. It's okay. Importantly though, what the fuck was Streamlabs doing? Right. Varnish time. Mistake a lot of people make with varnish. Firstly, thin it with thinner rather than flow improver. There's a reason behind that. It's alcohol based. It will help break down the plastic in the paint. It will also help it dry faster, and we want to move on. We don't want the varnish to take forever to dry. But the big one is they stir it with whatever brush they normally stir their airbrush with. Now mine gets kept in this not paint water cup, and as you can see, this is pretty rank. I just want to say, we're slightly sponsored by Wooden Spoon Wargaming, but their mugs lie. This is definitely paint water and not coffee. But most people will try and stir it with that brush that's in there. Don't do that. Just grab a fucking toothpick and stir your varnish. Otherwise, you will end up painting these things some weird shade of reddish brown. Reichland Flesh Shade, super thin edition, I guess. Varnish is completely booking your chat button. Oh, fuck. Okay, it's probably that they've got some update, either Bullguard or whoever it is that's made the chat bot, and it's not quite talking to it right. So I'm not worried as long as that works. People are still, according to the chat, increasing their tickets for the giveaway and stuff like that, which means that clearly the bot is still working to be able to provide that response to server. I'll just check the giveaway quick. Twilight Walker 4. Twilight Walker for 4 on there. We're all good. All that works. That's all I care about tonight, is make sure the giveaways work. Speaking of giveaways, you have 10 minutes left to become Stream Boss. Currently, Her Salsero is going to win 10,000 meeps just for 25 entries just for rocking up and pressing the subscribe button. He could definitely win with that amount of extra tickets. Right. Just change the focus a touch. There we go. Time to gloss varnish all these boys. And quite simply, you just spray it all over the mini. Work from a distance, not up close, because the last thing you want is spider webbing varnish. And also you don't want to spend forever just laying down some gloss varnish, because it's a tool to do the next part of what we're doing. It's not something we want to have necessarily as a feature. Okay? Ben, if you win, we're just not 50 quid off the commission, right? It could be a Mohawkminiatures voucher. The only one that we'll ever give out, ever. There you go. 1 down, 5 to go, and then those 3 guns as well. And then it'll be time to get the oils out. Always fun working with oils. So make these shiny boys super shiny. As you can see, you basically spray it till it all looks wet and then pop it to one side. D Knowles! DK's here. How you doing, champ? And Archon Castles, he's making it in time for the giveaways as well. I know your game, Brett. How you doing, brother? Oh, Hersalcero, keeping himself alive now. So if you're the boss, you can do all the things that would normally cause damage to yourself to give you life. However, don't gift a sub, because the person you gift a sub to, they're the person that damages the boss. Red glow in Horace's face hole bit. Definitely do it, man. It's completely lore-friendly and appropriate. It's almost one of the commandments of 40k, is that Horus must have a glowy red face. And Ben can't just do the Scorpeth instead, man. You've just got to enter that giveaway and cross your damn fingers, mate. But currently, the Bone Cron that you wanted him to be painted as has 0 votes. Like, literally none. Sorry. Wait, why is Brett painting the face for Horus for you, George? Is it because you don't want him to look ever so slightly inbred? By ever so slightly, I mean full on hills have eyes. Who would ever accidentally kill himself as a stream boss? Usually you. How do win stuff? Exclamation point how. That's a good one right there. We weren't even covering that up, I don't think. Right. 4 down. 2 left. 7 minutes on the stream boss. Are we going to get a snipe in at the end? Which is pretty much the tradition around here. Now remember, it's got to be like whatever the bot has chosen at that point as a stream boss. So whoever's got the notification and they're in there as stream boss, they're the one that gets it. What percentage of tickets do you have? I'm not going to add them all up. You're a strong contender. Like a very strong contender. But there's one guy here who's got closing in on 28-ish% of what you've got. I'm kind of rooting for him. Any ideas for Orc Boys weapons? Silver? I mean, they're usually like base metal, right? So. I just realised I put flow improver in that, not thinner. That's a bit of a pisser. Sorry, flow improver, you were wasted. Rocky won't win, he has too many. It's possible. It is possible. 28% of what I have. Yeah, man. Yeah. Bomb. You reckon that's gonna done it? Could be. Could have done. Who knows, Rock? Who knows? Brett was just saying you won't win. You've got too many tickets. Now you've got even more tickets. Haven't won in a year. That's a lie. You won 3 in a row, and we're only 13 months into affiliate, so haven't won in nearly a year. We'll accept. You did stop entering for a while though. Brett thinks he's got the winning ticket tonight. We'll see. All right, less than 4 minutes in that stream boss battle. Let me open up the clock on this screen. Clock tab, that's what we want. So you've got 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Remember, the bot has to recognize you as boss. If you try and snipe it too late, you will just be too late. So can't necessarily shoot too early. That's just good life advice. Don't do that. It's never welcomed, you know. Three minutes and counting. Fire only when you see the whites of their eyes. They would have won if they kept their eyes closed. Not a lot of people know that. We just got the guns to do. Front mounted Gauss cannons. I might be big, and I am thin, but at least I can shoot fast. Brilliant. Brilliant. Everyone needs a talent, man, and, you know, 10-second Tim over there. That's Undes. He wants that. He just threw in a fiver straight up. Like, no, it's mine. I've got the boss. And Kareem came in with a cheer immediately afterwards, doing some damage. A minute and a half in, Kareem's cheer gets announced. Can Dez hold on to this? He wants those meeps, man. He wants those meeps. 25 tickets is good. Oh shit. Oh shit. There's more. Rocky's got a big cheer going in as well. It's slowing down the bot. The bot has to try and keep up with this. But here's Rocky with a big hit cheer. Did a lot of damage to Dez. But Dez is still in it. Dez is still in. 1 minute left. In fact, we're down to 50 seconds. Kareem's next cheer comes in. Still not enough to slay Dez. Boss is tough today. Boss's stats get changed every month, man. 30 seconds. Dez just got to stay in there for a little bit longer, man. Got to hold on. Oh, Twilight Walker goes, no! No, it is mine! Big boy cheer. Big boy cheer. 15 seconds left in it. Can he hold on to the boss? As he popped his load too early. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Oh, Smithy with a donate. That's it, Smithy. You are the boss. Brush for hire. You did try and take it from him, but Smithy was holding that tight. Kareem with a big boy cheer. Brush for hire with a humongous boy cheer. Her Salcero getting his sub in as well through December. Increasing that sub through to December. This guy's banking it for the future. I mean, hot damn. Thank you to everyone for those cheers. Massive, massive lumps of bits. They're still coming in. The bot's like, I don't even know where I am anymore. You guys nailed it. You guys absolutely smashed it on that. Smithy, you are the bot. You're not the bot. You're the boss. It was close, right? You are the boss. You won. Congrats, man. Let me give you your meeps, dude. And Voodoo Yaz getting his sub going on as well. You guys are all absolutely amazeballs. And currency tab is there. I always think it moves, but it doesn't move. Smithy streams. Which account? Smithy's. How many fucking accounts have you got, dude? Right, so you did a donate or something on a different username slightly, so I actually owe you the meeps on that user because that isn't the right one. So I need to remove these. You absolutely buggered it, mate. Submit that, and then on your main one, you got the. Yes, you are bad at typing. It's okay though, mate. Don't worry. Don't worry. I've got you covered. So it's 11, and then that is a. Oh, fuck it. We'll just round it out. Bam. There you go, sir. There are your meeps. So thank you to everyone that got us through to a level 5 hype train in the space of 5 seconds with that horrendous amount of bits being thrown into the cup. Much love to you all. So, you've now got about 3 minutes to spend your meeps. So, just gloss varnish this last set of guns. I hope we're on the last set of guns. Just in case we're not. I'm going to run through the list and tell you who has entered into the giveaway. If I don't call your name out, you're not in. So you need to spend those meeps now. Exclamation point how for how to do it. We've kept it pretty simple today. So over here, in the contest, we've got Dez, Mr. Brutal, Crown Braid, I'll print you one, Dark Sanctuary, Viking, Crosby, with 1 ticket, as is tradition, Voodoo Yaz, Flash and Dash, Smithy, Fletcherton, Big Brom, Rocky, just with the big number of tickets right now, but, you know. Amberden, Pearl Jam, Brush for Hire, Sayex, Sage, Crazy Yank, Flashman, Andy, K-Sauce, I've lost it entirely, Kazgan, Fulakan, Breathe Hole, Zen41, Deviant Draco, Stinger, Saxtus, Airfoil, The Crooked Grin, Wildside, new name I haven't seen before, welcome to the stream, dude. Simondo, Robosh, The Johnsonator, Warp Surfer, The Peckish Fox, coming in hot with 50. December Wind, Forbays, Maladeus, Ring Sting, Tasselhoff, MCG, Jager, Cell Virus, That Nurgly Guy, Fish, even more. Hicko, Dudade, Karimazoid is putting a stamp down. He wants this voucher. Cakefisk, NG Lamunes, sorry. Russ, Twilight Walker, Chimo, Herself Zero, Archon Castles, Acold, Bellfire, DK, and Lordy. If I did not call your name out, you have got, we'll call it like 2 minutes. 1.5 minutes. You got 1.5 minutes to enter. So, there you go. Amazing energy. I don't know where I get it from, mate. Truly. It's one of those things. It just happens. Sorry, I had to. Dude, it's because I think this is the reason anyway. I love painting. I do. And I get to share something that I love with other people. And it's not the penis. It's really great. I've missed, the only thing I miss about my old job is the sort of coaching, educational, teaching part of it, and I get to do that here from the comfort of my own home about something I'm very passionate about. So, cheers, guys. Oh wow, we even got that level 5 hype train emote, man. Jay, no idea. It takes a swig to apply the beer without telling the Twitch police. I mean, I don't know what you're inferring there, Smithy. Don't know what you're inferring. Are you hyped for the new unit coherency rules? Dude, I play knights as my main army. What fucking unit coherency? I am so buzzing about that. All those units of 10 drones strung out behind shit. Nope. All the amount of time that some Tau player is going to waste making sure all his drones are within 2 inches of 2 other drones. That's fine. Chess clocks for the win, right? Okay. Looking for the big guns never tire? Less so, actually, because I will fall back, shoot you in charge. So that is going to be it. We are going to draw the voucher, that £50 voucher. After we've done this, we're going to be heading over into Discord for our work in progress gallery. So if you've got something you want to show us that you've been painting, ! Discord, get a link, head on over to the work in progress section there and upload a couple of pics. Ideally, no more than 3. While the whip is going on, so after we've drawn this, we're going to enter the giveaway for those of you that are subscribers, ! Mystery, where you could either win a Genius of the Occult Abominum or Ragnar Blackmane painted by me in a colour scheme, maybe vetoed by me, of your choice. If, however, you decide, meh, I don't really want either of those two things. I don't want those 2 minis. I got no use for the most beast mode man in all of 40k, or the man with the hammer. If you think I don't want either of those, you could take a risk and gamble on what might be in the mystery box. Now in this box is anything that's been on those shelves or in the drawer of shame down there, which means there could be knights. Admittedly, this is a smaller box, so probably not a full-size knight. Maybe a Helverin could go in here. That's legit an option. Could be a Helverin. Could be Warcry minis. Could be Shadespire minis. Could be limited edition Space Marines. It could be a small item of scenery. It could be one Nurgling. It could just be a scenic base. It is a gamble. Gambles don't always pay off. The box sounds like there's definitely some sprue in there. Or maybe that's a base rattling around. Who knows? But for now, it is definitely time. We're going to draw our giveaway for that £50 hobby voucher. The thing we give away every single month on this stream. All you've got to do to be in with a chance of winning this is watch the stream. We give you currency just for sitting here, chilling out. We're lurk friendly. It's all good. We're closing the giveaway right now. And the winner of the June 20, 2020 hobby voucher is... I'll print you one! So it wasn't Rocky with his great big boy amount of entries. It was not. Rocky says you need the box. Brother, no one is having this box. There were something like 2,000 of these boxes made for one tiny shop out in, I believe, Texas. Those cigars were super good. Super good. I'll print you one. Congratulations, my man. Hit me up on Discord. Ideally, send me a message now. I'm going to need at least your email address. I need you to tell me where you would like a voucher for. So, Element Games is a good one. GW, Forge World, Rival Crafts we can do. All of these things are there. So head over to Discord. Ideally now before you forget. Send me a message. Hicko, no one's getting that box. That box is mine. Nobody gets that at all. It belongs to me. So we're going to reset this down. So that's everyone out. Bam. Let me set up the next giveaway. This is going to be subscribers only. So there's no ticket cost. You don't need to spend meeps or anything like that for this. You just need to be a subscriber. So if you are a subscriber, excellent. I expect every subscriber that's online right now to be entering this contest. If you're not a subscriber and you want to win either of those two minis that we've shown you, or Gazgol, not Gazgol, it's probably not Gazgol. It might be Gazgol, but it probably isn't. It's almost certainly not Gazgol, but it could be Gazgol. Or it could just be scenery. But if you want to win that, Mini June 20. Exclamation point, Mini June 20. I'll put it on the board. Get that command, smash it in right now. If the bot ignores you, and we'll give you plenty of time to make sure you've got your entry in, if the bot ignores you, just give it a minute or two. Go again. Also, just want to point out, we had a subscription going right there. Demon Badger, thank you very, very much for that sub, dude. You're now eligible to enter this giveaway. So get in on it, dude. Get in on it. But while we run this giveaway, and we'll come back to this so everyone can see it and enter in a sec. While we run this giveaway, we're going to go over to Discord and we're going to do that work in progress gallery. One of my favorite parts of the stream. That was before the stream, but it was Rocky, and he actually did some painting, so we'll let it happen. So here's Rocky, getting on with some Blood Angels. Still very shiny from that oil wash, dude. Clearly still a work in progress. But I'm glad you're finding the time, man, to get some painting done. I always find that doing some painting improves my mood. Could be having the shittest day ever. In fact, the day my ex-wife left me, he was like, don't know what to do now. I guess I'll do some painting. Like, makes you feel better. It's a good thing to have that creative outlet. Well, let me PM you on Discord for some reason. Okay, Chief. That's weird, but send me a message on Twitch then. Just whisper me on Twitch. Butt shot. There's that blood angle. Don't string those two words together. Bit unsure on that one. Tends to put you off. Fair. For me, it's the most therapeutic thing, man. Which is why I'm always having a good time on stream. I love it. Hobo J, this is fucking sick. So, Jake's been working here and there on a few characters from different ranges. He's just finished off a Sister of Battle, the one with a big, extremely heavy standard. Now, he's working on the Biophagus from the GSC range. Two things I want to point out here. Firstly, that white coat is absolutely sick. There's texture to it, you can see the brush strokes, but it kind of looks worn, as in, like, well used, than just haven't in my paints enough. So that's really good. The second thing, and we'll open this on the big view so you can see. We'll even like bump in. Syringe full of green liquid, casting the barest bit of light onto that cloak. Gotta love shit like that. He's not just thought, oh, so, you know, I'll paint this green then. He's thought, well, it's a clear, translucent liquid. There'd be light shining through that, colouring the background for it. Because the background's nice and white, easily going to get that green going on. Epic, epic job, man. Brilliant stuff. Loads left to do. There's crazy detail on these guys. You're nailing it, man. Sons of Rolo. So we saw these guys last time. Sans highlights and without shades, right? So, plenty to do. Looks like you've done all that work, man. I can now see on the shoulder pads where you've got that shade in there. It brings that detail out. As soon as you start breaking up the lines, just helping separate them out, the detail comes forward. I really like it, man. The only thing I dislike about it is the model itself, but you can't do anything about that. I'm not huge fans of these guys. But your highlights, especially around the gun shields where you've got that super bright little specular highlight. Loving it. Absolutely loving it. Inceptors always thought they'd been smashed in the back with a hammer. A little bit, yeah. Yeah. And here's the unit. Great work, man. Honestly, great work. I love the little chevrons you've got in red and yellow on the shoulders. They're brilliant. The yellow for the ammo casing really, really works. It's not something I've seen very often at all, but you've really got it and you've put it on there properly, mate. I like it a lot. Why have they got green noses? I don't dislike that at all. But why do they have green noses? Only just noticed it. Fish, it works great with that grey. But for an Ultramarine, perhaps. Got to do red for Ultras. Epic work, dude. They've come on leaps and bounds since I first saw them. So proud of that shitty pun. So proud of that shitty pun. MCGJ says, question, Genie Stealers, siding talons on the front arms or secondary arms? I think they're derpy with them up front. They're better at secondary. Am I the only one? I can't even remember where I put them on mine. I did 40 of those bastard things, but... well, there you are, then, huh? So, I've got... Hey! There you are. I got a message from you. Nice one. Crazy Act. 25th Company Intercessors with Assault Bolter and only the 10 Infiltrator to complete the 60 units for the 3rd Company. Dude. Oh, is it the 5th Company? They've got the black shoulder pad trim? Because they're the ones I really, really like. So this is brilliant. I love this. Have you done them as units of 5, not units of 10? Pro Jam, you're absolutely right. Don't they normally have that weird thing on the end of the gun as well? Brett, you're totally correct. These look sick. This guy paints so fast. He's been working on this army for, call it a month. And he's got multiple repulsors, an entire company of Marines. Very nearly. It's mental. It's mental what this guy gets out. He paints more than I do. That's for sure. In terms of like the more finished models than I do. Karimazoid! Here we go. Getting his ink on all up in here. Dude, these are sick. These are awesome. Firstly, I love flamers. The crazy mushroom bodies they've got is... It's just like, damn. Post a picture of it all? Please do, man. Please do. I love them, man. Get some glosses on there. Then get some oils in. So it's going to help really sort of break up the muscle groups on the flame, the big gout of green that you've got coming out of that... is it Exalted Flamer, I think? That'll really start to bring in the different shapes to that flame as well. These are great though, dude. Absolutely great. 4 hours, smashed them out. Done. Next. Voodoo Yaz. Came up with an idea for my Raven Guard Chaplain and went with it. This was only primed before the stream, which is all tonight. Really? Well, fucking hell, son. You've done well on that app when the evening's work. Okay, I'm going to strongly disagree with the iridescent yellow base. I think that's a bit much. It looks like he's walking on ground that's been made up of washing up sponges. But if we just, you know, do a bit of that, the rest of it's fucking brilliant, man. Like, the white is really clean. The grey you've got for, like, the lower part of his chaplain-style trench coat, I really like the fact that that's darker than the white around his cowl. Your bone retains the yellow colour of bone. Rocky, get a sub. 13 months, man! Balefires got it right. He's walking on sunshine. Oh. He really is. Alternatively, it's follow the yellow brick road. Like, honestly, mate, considering you put this in at 23:21, so 2.5 hours, here he is. Butt shot. Fair play, dude. That's impressive. Rocky, hell no. Hell no. But damn, man. That's good. Darken down the base. Get some washes on there or some inks or something just to knock it down a few notches so it isn't so yellow. Because it's a Raven Guard. You know, stealthy is probably not black armor on a yellow desert. It's all in my head so I can knock it out. I'm not commenting on that at all, but maybe different choice of words. Epic work. Right, AO Peter, here we go. Getting his knights done in the name of Cain. Why is this knight not the big red machine? That's all I can think of right now. So, first thing, the scroll work is amazing. It's really, really good. Scroll work is just one of those things that can be tricky to do. But the blends that you've got in there, you've got that really nice dark shadow all the way up into a very nice bright but still unmistakably parchment coloured scroll is epic. Fucking epic, dude. That is spot on. Lettering is hard. I'm not very good at it at all. I hold my hands up to that every time we do something like it. I'm bad at this. Don't expect miracles. Yours is tidy. Your letters fit the same width up and down on the scroll. You've got them all in the right place. The thing to work on a little bit is just the... I can't remember if it's just called kerning. I think that's a typography term for it, kerning, which is the width of the letter itself. So the lines that make up each letter. So for T, the horizontal line and the vertical line, they're not even throughout. It's noticeable specifically on the H, the E, and the N. But you've done a really good job with it, mate. Like, my lettering is certainly no better than that at all. And your scroll work is impeccable. Great job, dude. Absolutely great job. Cutting a space between the text. Ah, okay. And that's something to do with width of letters. What we got here? We've got some yellow bases. What is this, a yellow base gang tonight? sorry, Meeps just ran past at about 8,000 miles an hour. So it is the most nerve-wracking part of a freehand. It really is, dude. Because you've just done this wonderful thing, and they're like, right, I'm about to ruin the fuck out of that. These are nice. I really like the kind of sand dune wavy effect you've got going on there. You've got a nice little bit of shadow, you've got a nice little highlight. These are good. And then, oh, okay. We'll start you off with the scroll work, and then we'll finish you off with this. So the cog is really quite tidy. Remember, we're looking now, or at least I'm looking on the monitor I've got, at a night shoulder pad that is about 40 times the size it normally is. So I can see a few imperfections in the cog. But not many, even at that size. So that's really good. I like that a lot. You could go into it and you could bring up some shades to give it a bit more dimension. So where you've got the teeth of the cog, you could maybe just sort of fit in something in the wheel of it and just fade out a few bits to give you that that transition here and there. But you don't need to. That's just me saying, like, that's the next progression of what you're doing. And the same goes a little bit with the skull. Every part of it is in the right place. But if you look at the skull you've got there, and then take that to another sort of natural evolution of it, you'd be looking at putting in maybe a crack in the skull around the implant thing he's got going on there. You may be looking at putting in some shading around a brow line. I know you've got the sort of goggle thing on there. And around the mouth area, just to give it a bit more depth in places. But you don't need to right now, man, because this is great. Those are the next steps to do to take this from some nice freehand to a beautiful piece of art. This is great. You should be so proud of this. I'd be happy with this if it was mine, put it that way. Because look at it from that distance. All of those things even out immediately. I'd hesitate to call what I've just said tips, because it's like that meme, right? So here's how to draw a horse. You get some circles, you get some cones. That's step one. Step two, draw the rest of the horse. That's kind of what I've just done for you there, is draw the rest of the horse. It's a direction to follow down, but I can't really tell you how to get there. I can tell you that glazing will really be involved. A lot. But you've done something that's brilliant here, man. Good for you. Right, before we got the Crown Blade stuff, not to forget you, Crown Blade. These are the people that have entered in to tonight's mystery mini giveaway. So far, you could win the Abominant, Ragnar, or the mystery box. If I don't call out your name, you're not entered. You've got to be a subscriber to enter, and the command is MiniJune20, all one word. Airfoil, Twilight, Meladeus, Chimo, George, Deviant, Smithy, Hicko, Acold, Sage, Lordy, Crooked Grin, Crazy Ant, Voodoo Yaz, K-Sauce, Cat, Brett, Peckish Fox, Zen41, The Johnsonator, Saxtus, Simondo, Crownblade, Forbase, Selvirus, Breathhold, Demon Badger, Rocky, Russ, Stinger, Her Salcero, MCG Jager, Hertus, Pearl Jam, DK, Balefire, Wildside, Doodah Day, Crosby, Big Brom, Dez, I'll print you one, target number 4, Omar, Warp Surfer, Brush for Hire, UK, because we've got more than one Brush for Hire, Amberden, Blue Eyed and Fury, Fish Mandy, it's Flash Man Andy, not Fish Mandy. Dyslexia is real, guys, don't let it get to you. Speaking of fish, there he is. That son's dog, yes, he's entered twice, once it's his dog. They're both subs, I can't stop him. Makes sense. Sayek, Fletch, Fudakan, Ringsting, Kareem, M. Peters, Superfly Sai, Farsiars, and Tasselhoff. You guys are all in. If I didn't call out your name, you're not in. You've got till the end of the whip to be a sub and get in this giveaway for one of those 3 minis. So Crownblade did a palette cleanser mini and head swapped a corridor. Also found my old Araya Jacobus mini in the attic. That was the preacher guy, right? That really works. The little Admech dude's head, really, really works on that body. I love that Datson's dog watches this. Hell, man. I'm like Scooby Snacks, clearly. I can handle a mystery box. Isn't taken if you promise you don't have to exchange the contents for next time. If you no. So if people don't pick the mystery box, then what's in it stays in it. We'll switch up like the other 2 minis. Because it might be people didn't pick them because they just don't want either one, right? At all. So we might switch up these. Rotate them through a bit. But whatever's in the box stays in the box till it's opened. Your dog's got a gambling problem. Yeah, maybe. Good work on this, dude. Look at the butt shot. I like the fact the cape is stitched up at the back and it's 2 different capes. That's quite sick. You want to win Gwyneth's head? I mean... I'm not saying to make that happen, because I'm not. It's good, dude. It's very good. Let's see this Arad Jacobs. Here he is. I remember this guy. Yes. Such a cool mini. Absolutely out there cool mini. He always reminded me of the guys from Judge Dredd, the little hillbilly types that live out in the wastes. Always reminded me of one of them. Don't know why. But he's great. Good work, dude. Good work. Right, Twilight Walker. Nearly misread that. Apologies if I ever do. Experiment with bases and barrel. Waiting on more green paint and some ink. Time to figure out how to do OSL on a rod and eyes. Okay, dude. I like your color scheme. You kind of got that Iron Man Kron going on, which is quite cool. The Angel family. Yes, that's it. So, I like the color scheme you've got. You could do some highlights on the red, because that looks a little bit flat in comparison to the gold, and especially if you start getting to OSL as well, you really want to do your basic highlights before you do that. Otherwise, it won't look right. You'll have this OSL which has naturally highlights built into it. And then secondly, you'll end up with something that's flat alongside it. So it's this juxtaposition of what should and shouldn't be there. Now, in order to have a go at highlighting the rod, if you go back far enough on the YouTube streams, I think this one's here, the one where we did this bit of OSL. This is a really good way of doing anything along that sort of lines. So you leave yourself a dark spot at both ends, so the focal point is towards the center, and you slowly bring the brightness up. So there's no massive jump. It's not suddenly like dark and then BAM! Light, like you may find on the OSL around the eyes, where it's very bright here, but then darker here and on just the inside rim of that. But here it must be a lot smoother. You've got to get that nice little glowing transition sort of working up. I know on the last stream that we did, which is on YouTube, we did this section here. So you can take that and sort of run with that as an example. So maybe worth watching that. But I like what you're doing, dude. Like I said, really like the color scheme. Iron Man Kron. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Very unique. If you're going to do a bit of a green glow on the rod, what I'd suggest though, just to break up the fact that the Gauze Blaster is just a little bit too dark, in fact it's all one thing, those power cells that are in the middle of where his 2 hands are, I'd maybe do those as well. Because then you've got something that ties it back into the model. Brilliant, there you go. So you've got that video on YouTube now, !YouTube, if you're not a sub there, go and sub. Because we put all of our shows there, so you've got a living library of what we do. You've always got access to it then. You don't need to worry about it only being on Twitch for 14 days. You always go and follow that. I like it though, man. Really good. Really, really good. Let me see it when you've done your OSL. It's tricky, so don't despair if it goes a little bit wrong. Just glaze it out and then glaze it back in. Give it a shot. Right, the Johnsonator. Oh, here we go. I love that blue. That blue is one of my favourite things that I see in the whip every now and again. It's the blue that you do on these boys. It's so bright. So good. So these are the custom bases that you've just done. How much for a set of 10, Lee? What are we talking? Talk to me. Talk to me. Basically, he's sculpted 10 base. 10 base. 10 bases. Cast them. Because one of his clients is right there in the chat. You heard whips and came running. Reiner, how you doing, brother? Good to see you, man. Let's get a shout out for this guy right here. Reiner, you need to be in our competition as well. You're currently a subscriber. So, exclamation point mini June 20 to win your choice of a GSC Abominant, Ragnar Blackmane, or whatever's in the mystery box painted by me in a color scheme of your choice. Who knows what's in that mystery box? Only me. Last one. Oh man. Oh man, that shield has seen some shit. Damn it. Damn you to hell. Wrong button. That shield has definitely, like, oomph in somebody's face. 10 are posted. Alright, deal. Definitely. We've got another giveaway for next month, guys. Some custom bases by Lee. Dude, that's... You guys have heard me say it a lot. I hate seeing blood on weapons because it's almost never done right. This guy gets it right every time. Every time. I've never not seen it spot on from this dude. So if you need an example on how to do blood properly, look through the Johnsonators posts. He's got a load on Instagram that look like this and better. Go check them out. And do follow Reiner if you haven't already. Chimo, Minotaur Cessair from the old Confrontation game. Can't really see the blends on the muscle because of the light. Okay. Damn, man, that guy's ripped. Look at those abs. They're bursting out. That's crazy. It's a very cool mini, though. Dude just skip shooting and gone for bashing with a shield instead. Yeah, he definitely did. I love those little axes. The one that looks like a cleaver is epic with that little jawbone attached to it. But the one on the other side looks like it would just sort of glance off you. It's so curved. This is really cool, dude. I love the tattoos you've gone for. The little sort of woad thing on his bicep. That's just great. Nice work on the base. I got nothing I can fault this with, man. You're smashing it. Absolutely smashing it. Good work. And a Troll Blood dude. Oh, I love the Warmer Horde stuff. I've never painted any of these minis, but I really, really like some of the Hordes guys. The Syrinx, Crix, something like that. They look like Tyranids. They are amazeballs. So much character out of these minis. Epic, dude. Absolutely epic. Another strong blue. Legion. Oh, wait. I don't know if it's a Syrinx. You guys will probably know better than I do, but the Tyranid looking ones, they're dope. Air. Nice. Got some custodes. Not painted gold this time. I like it, dude. These are the ones that are like the Warriors of the Light, right? It is the Legion. Cool. There you are. Joey! How you doing, man? I like it, dude. The Terminators from this line are absolutely bonkers good. They're great minis. They're so, so good to paint. The Wardens, I might have an aneurysm if I paint another one of those. But these are great. Nice job, man. I'm pretty good with everything you've got there. I would say that the highlights aren't too obvious, but I think that's more the photo than everything else, because you've got the screen behind it. Your camera's going to have a hard time focusing on the Mini so much. But good work. Good work, dude. Solar Watch, that's the one. I think that's something to do with light things. Look at that. Right, Karimazoid. Now back to working on this boy, mate. Oh, yes. Look at that yellow. That is a good yellow. I love the little sword that you've got, his little witch blade. This is nice. This is nice. Good shadows. The gold that you've got on his chest. Obviously a bit of a whip. Could definitely do with some washing to help just establish the border of that. Let it bring it up into the foreground a little bit more. Love the blue. We've had a lot of strong blues today. This is good. It's a good sign. Very nice, dude. Very, very nice indeed. That's dead good. Get it? Because it's a Spirits here. I don't know if anyone put any tumbleweeds in the chat, but it was definitely one right there. Voodoo Yaz. Oh, and a little update on this guy. Oh, here we go. So they give you guys a breakdown of what's going on here. The dude on the right that looks like he's had an accident with a melter gun is one of the original Rogue Trader Space Marines that may or may not look like they're just about to sit on the throne. The guy on the right, the guy on the left, sorry, is a Primaris version of that he's making in homage to that Rogue Trader Mini. So I think what you need to do, just to make your life super, super difficult, is to sculpt those little pipes on his chest. RTB01, that's it, man. Dude, keep it up, keep going. Primarisified. Even this guy's base is nearly as tall as that old ass Marine. You know. Right, Peckish Fox. Death Guard in 30k colours. Ooh. The very first thing that I painted when I got back into the hobby was some normal Loyalist Space Marines in Heresy era Death Guard colour scheme. I loved them. They were such a ball ache to paint without an airbrush back then. Love it, dude. It's one of my favourite colour schemes out of all of 40k/30k. It's the old school Death Guard bone and green. Love it. No! Kareem says, couldn't find my spirits here. Heard a crunch as I rolled back the chair. Kind of want to see a picture of that in the whip, but equally I'd never want to see that. That's F in the chat, definitely. All of the F. Get it in the chat. Picking the whip, dude. My heart literally bleeds for that. That's unlucky. Demon Badger, here we go. Still working on rubrics. Slow going at the moment, though. It's got distracted by a Dreadnought last week, but that Dreadnought was cool AF. I like that a lot. These are beautiful. Again, a strong blue in the whip tonight. Everything seems to be blue, and I'm loving it right now. Rip Spirit Seer says Smithy. Absolute boss. Oh, wow. He even used the grave emotes. Oh, I'm not sure that was completely sincere, you know. Oh shit, Kareem, really? I mean, you could send it to him fully painted as like a some assembly required kit. It was, mate. It was good. Don't you worry. Don't you worry, mate. These are great. Good work on the metallics. There's clearly still things that you're doing. I love them. Can't be mad about that blue. It's good. Dude Our Day, Space Marine Hero Season 3 Whip. These are some sick models. They've got some great sculpts for this. I can't wait for them to come out in the UK, because I'm going to buy a box for definite. And we'll throw one into the giveaway every now and again. Nice scheme. You've gone with that very classic now 40k Death Guard green. I love the purples. They really contrast well up against those greens. So these are epic. Is that the staff or the sorcerer, the super hard to get one that you've got to buy the blooming paint kit? Oh no, that was the banner dude. It was the icon bearer. We had this chat the other day. The icon bearer. It's a bit sinister. They're good, dude. They are good. Amberden. Oh, here we go. Here's the birthday / Christmas Grombrindal. Little gobbo chilling out in the cake. So, am I wrong in thinking, I can't quite see it in the image here, but the Nerf gun was a Space Marine bolter because they were about to nerf Marines by releasing Primaris or something? Was that not the joke? Balefire, I got it, man. I was like, damn, it's too soon for that joke. He's just crushed it with his chair. It's too soon for that. I have way too many Death Guards troops to build. I want to base them. If I ever done Cork and custom base before, it's going to be a big thing. My housemate did it with Cork. It works really well. But yeah, I like the base. It's good. Let's see the mini though. Here he is. Nice, man. I think overall, you've done a really, really good job. But I think everything would benefit just a little bit from just lining the edges. So from in this pic, you look at the presents that are on my left of the picture. If you were just to run along the bottom of those with a bit of dark brown or something to help tie it into the tiles, you just get a nice little bit of separation. Just enough to make each one of them an individual thing. But otherwise, I think you've done a really good job. You've gone with a very light pastel colour scheme, which is very difficult to pull off. But you've still managed it. I just get some sort of almost panel lining going on there. So. Good job though, dude. I do like it. It's a great mini as well. Oh, top down view. So much colour, mate. So much colour. See, from this angle, everything looks a lot more delineated, so it might have just been the photo. Nice work there, mate. Primaris Grombrindal. Yeah, his backpack's got the right Primaris vents on it as well. If you go in here, you can see it's got that top cap with the underside rather than like the normal Space Marine one. So did some assembling on my Orc boys. Hate building boys with big guns in two hands, so to rebuild and give them one big gun in one hand. Totally the right way to do it, man. Nice. I also see that shot glass technology coming into play. This is the way. It's totally the way. Even got the ammo right on the left, boy. Hang on. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Well done, dude. Here we go. Full production line mode. Very nice. This is the way we do it, man. Get them shot glass out, get that blue tack going on. We're all good. Right, we are nearly through the whip. What have we got left to go? Not a lot. Okay, so since last time, no one else has joined in. So if I didn't call your name out last time, you're not in the giveaway. If you want to be in the giveaway to win either Ragnar Blackmane, a GC Occult Abominant model, or whatever is in the mystery box, now is the time to enter. You've got to be a subscriber. ! Mini June 20, Mini June 20 to be entered. So here's George. Got Horus Lupercal. Horus. He's good, man. He's very shiny. I like the base. Got a nice little rust effect going on. You've got the red glow around the head. This is good. I like it, man. Do like it. There's that big old dog. I think with the wolf, you could probably have washed in some of the recesses a little bit darker. But that's just personal preference. You guys know I like that really high contrast style. Cheeto dust basing, definitely. That makes sense, George. If I left after entering earlier, did it invalidate my entries? December Wind, you should still be in. We'll double check your name while we look at George's toy soldier. Wait, do you mean the other contest for the £50 voucher? Because that one's been drawn. This is the next one for the mini. So this is something different. You're not on this list from what I can see. So, exclamation point, mini, June 20. Got some definite camera wobble going on here, dude. Rough to see, but we can at least see what is going on. He's nice, man. Are you doing much highlights on the armor? So not the trim, but the armor panels itself? Because I can't really tell from this. There you go, Cake Fisk is in. That's what you got to do. December Wind, that same command. Type that in, get yourself an entry. While you're still drying, then to hide again. There we go, there we go. Crazy Yanked. This Imperial Fist army in about a month. In about a month. This is solid, dude. Like, I have seen far worse than this in that length of time. And I haven't seen much. There's an army that size that's much better in that length of time. You are slaying it. They're good quality as well. It's not like they've been rushed. They look decent. They look really decent. The OSL on the tanks being brought up here. Yeah, he's done a great job with that. We saw it when they were like work in progress. He went back in, shaded in those lines to make that torchlight look correct. And it looks so good. We've got another pick. You see it a little bit better here. Yeah, look at that OSL. It's not just a case of grab airbrush and then you just and done. Can't just do that. There are rules. Dude, this is mental. All Primaris apart from those 3 Centurions, right? Everything else is Primaris. Fucking definitely crazy. Just try to go at my own speed so it feels... It's just him working at his own speed. He's not rushing. It's just, yeah, it's just how I work. Crazy, man. Totally, totally crazy. Username checks out for sure. Fucking hell. Dude, they look good just by themselves. When you put them all together like that, it's pretty fucking inspiring. I'm not going to lie. Like, pretty wowed by that. Good work. Good work. I think my favourite's still the Apothecary. Here we go. Disaster. Just drop my Spirit Seer and move my chair over him. How bad is this? Oh, not the sword! Oh, that sucks. Shit. Well, I hope you can pin it. We've got one last one, Cake Fisk. Then we're going to draw the giveaway for that mini. So if you want to enter, exclamation point, mini June 20 to get in. Right, here you go, Jan. Oh, nice! We hit that with a like. Alright, these are cool. So normally you see these guys painted like with a very yellowy bone colour. It will buff out, will it? Fuck. I like the fact that these aren't quite so yellowy. This is really good because it helps contrast so nicely against the purple and the blue. And the purple and blue don't really contrast off each other very well because obviously one is made of the other and they're both about the same kind of brightness level as well. But because you haven't got the bone in there and you've gone for that slightly more muted tone, everything kind of works. I see a load of pigment in the background. It's a good sign for those bases. They're going to get a good treatment. So, yeah. Nice work, man. Nice work. Right, let's go now to the bit that everyone is waiting for. This bit. So since last time, we have had Cake Fist, December Wind, and Robosh 76 enter. If you want to win either Ragnar Black Knight, Primaris Edition, a G-Steel Occult Abominant. I love this guy. I so love this mini. So love that mini. Or the contents of the mystery box. You've got 1 minute to enter. Exclamation point, mini June 20. To recap what we've done tonight, we proved that airbrushing can definitely be done on any mini, regardless of how much work you've already put in. All of the bone was done on mine and Mikey's stream yesterday. All of this and the helmet was airbrushed on stream tonight. So he showed you it's not about air pressure. It's not about your paint being too thin. Because we thinned this paint right down. At some stages we were 2-to-1 flow improver to paint. Twice the amount of thinning agent as we had paint. And we even showed you guys, if you jam down on the trigger to get the maximum airflow, you still have control using the amount of paint that you put out. And that's the bit that really, really matters, is that. So that's what we've accomplished tonight. We've done all of the true metallic metal for the silver and the gold. We're going to get some oil washes on these off stream. We've done a gloss varnish on these guys. And that's where we're at. So now, let's go back over to the giveaway window. We're going to close that giveaway. That's it. It's done. It's too late now. You know where to enter. Time has come and gone. So the winner of the mini for this month, Ragnar the Abominant, or the mystery box, is the Peckish Fox! Yes, dude! Oh, I wanted to paint something for you for ages. Congrats, man. It's me. Dude, this is good. This is good. So you now have a choice. You now have a choice. Do you want... The chat is going mental for this. This is so cool. So cool. All the hype from you guys as well. It's great it's going to another streamer. I love this. Do you want the most beast mode man in all of 40k? Because he's literally a beast. This is not just a beard, you know, it's clearly some face fur. And I believe you even have a Space Wolves army as well. No, you've got a Space Wolves army. So there's Ragnar, up for grabs. Do you want The Hammer Time Abominant. One of my favourite sculpts in that entire range, and in fact, in most of 40k. Or do you want the contents, not the box, the contents of the mystery box? It's your choice, man. Do not let the stream influence you in any way. It's your choice. Oh, he's going for Ragnar. He's going for Ragnar. Peckish. Absolutely great choice. So the contents of the mystery box stay sealed. That box not opening until somebody chooses it. So congrats, man. Ragnar is coming out for you. Now I appreciate you have your own ever so slightly different take on a Space Wolf colour scheme. So are we painting him in your colour scheme? Or are we painting him in the more traditional greys, bluey grey, Space Wolf style? That sword, I can't wait to see how it looks. Well, it looks a bit like that. There was no fucking way on God's green earth that, or any of this was being attached to the Mini. Like, backpack, no. This thing, fuck no. We've got Ragnar the sub-assembly is what we've got right now. Oh. Do I need a decision tonight? Absolutely not, man. But I do need a decision by Thursday night, because that's when we're going to start painting this guy. And ideally before the stream, so I can make sure my priming is done, make sure any basing that needs to be done, pre-prime is sorted out as well. So you've got time, man. Colonel Hans Lanza, thank you for that follow and welcome to the stream. Right, guys, that is it. The best day, the literal best of all days. Where's my sunglasses? Is giveaway day. And we have now finished giveaway day. So we're going to go and find somebody to pass the hobby love on to. Let's go see who else is streaming. I want to say a huge thank you to everyone that joined in this evening. For you crazy motherfuckers battling over the stream boss as well. That the bot just died at that point. Too much. Too much. So thank you to all. I'll print you one. Congrats on your £50 voucher. Peckish. I can't wait to get this guy sorted out for you, man. Cannot wait. Let's see who's streaming. We've got... Why not? Why not? Let's see what they're painting. That's some weird, freaky looking shit. I have no idea what that thing is. But let's go and investigate. Let's go and find out. Raise your glasses. Get the rum out. We're going to see the captain. Weird shit for the win. You've got it, Kareem. The bot was very good about queuing all the entries. It did. Very, very well, in fact. So when we go into the captain stream, there's a lot of us. I want everyone spamming those emotes. Get the meat faces going on if you're a subscriber. If you're not, just hype it with whatever you've got. We will see you on Thursday night, live at 9. Peace out, everyone. Have a good week.
I'm afraid I committed a crime, Mohawkminiatures. I am growing my hair out. Yes, it was a squeal. You scared me.
Welcome aboard the platform.
Thank you for all the follows.
Brilliant.
Yes, we're working on a follower goal, you guys. I am so excited about this. We're going to hit another booty box giveaway before I even have the last booty box. Those are so welcome. And if you will do me a huge favor and remove the word raid from after my address in the address bar up there, you guys will help with the viewership. And we are slowly working our way towards partners so we can give away more prizes and get more sponsors.
Welcome aboard the platform.
Voodoo, welcome back, welcome back.
Welcome
Mohawk, how
aboard
have
the
you been? How have you been?
Welcome aboard the
Bree,